Show me what you got. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Show me what you got. Show me what you got. Down, up, back, up, God, down, up, back, God, down, up, back, up, God, down, up, back, God, down, up, back, God, down, up, back, God, down, up, back, God. Ain't no reason to back down, so step it up. God, down, up, back, God, down, up, back, God, down, up, back, God, down, up, back, God, down, up,
the money in the bank.
We'd like to thank Intel for believing in us and supporting women in the gaming community. The new core and graphics architectures of the 11th gen Intel Core processors elevate laptop and desktop gaming performance for all types of gamers, from the overclockable K processor line for desktops to the U processor line with integrated graphics. Intel has a product for the hardcore PC gamer and streamer, as well as the gamer on the go.
And welcome, folks. This is the Valorant Game Changers Southeast Asia FSL Open Overtime, and we are your casters. Hey, I'm Quack, and along with me, the one, the only Illustrator with one L.
Thank you. I'm glad you remember that distinction. I appreciate it. People get it mixed up a lot, but nowadays it's getting a little bit better. So thank you for the introduction. An exciting set of games we have here today. Now, before we go ahead and talk about the game itself, let's talk a little bit about what overtime is here. So for those of you who don't know what it is exactly that overtime is, this is all of those teams that didn't really that didn't make it into elite just yet. So now they're all trying to get into that elite with those, trying to get those points in. So this is what overtime is about. We got the top 3 teams, and then from overtime, we'll go to elite. And same thing for the next one, which is wild card. It's going to be the next top two teams, rather. And then, of course, we're going to end up in FSL Elite, which is happening on the 23rd to the 31st of October. So we've got a lot more Valorant coming your way, Quack.
Very, very lovely. A lot of Valorant. Speaking of which, I mean, this is, just to, I guess, kind of whet people's appetites before the big one. That's FSL Elite, of course. I mean, just coming up over the weekend, next weekend, we've got Berlin. Really unfortunate news, but, we'll dive into that a little bit later. For now, we're focusing on FSL, open overtime. There is no real prize pool, no monetary gains, but they do get, the top 3 teams do get to stand a chance. They qualify for Elite, where they might be able to walk away with one of the first or second, third place prizes, and is a huge prize pool in FSL Elite, 25,000 big ones. Wildcard is another tournament that's coming up soon as well. I think that's towards the end of the month, and that's going to be 5,000 prize pool, similar to the opens that we have each month. But of course, the biggest prize is to be able to qualify for Elite, and that's what they're all fighting for right now.
Indeed, you want to be on that stage, the biggest stage here in the entirety of Southeast Asia for all these women gamers. And we, on this stage, we only have 3 slots filled up so far. We've got Alter Ego Celeste, we've got Galaxy Racer, we've got Renatus White. These 2 teams have definitely made an impression over the course of the past few months that we've been covering this, and they have showed us that they are actually the most qualified teams. Quack, we looked at Alter Ego, Galaxy Racer, Renatus White. Not a lot of surprise that these are the 3 teams that we've got coming in.
Yeah, not so much. I mean, they've always been consistently placing around the top, making it to the finals, grand finals, upper bracket finals, what have you. And that's why they deserve those top 3 placements. But we're going to go into this one, which is the overtime. The following teams, the 4th place to, I believe, the 19th or 20th place, and they are all still trying to fight for those top 3 slots. And of all these teams, I mean, we've seen a couple of them. We've seen some familiar names as well, some interesting team logos that I really love to watch. But do any of these teams actually stand out to you, Illustrator?
I mean, of course, we got Aresta, who was a team that definitely, made a few great performances, really good performances back in the previous couple of opens here. Obviously, Hashira as well. They had quite a bit of a run. Definitely a team to watch out for as they are growing quite a lot. Wildfire Sphinx, who did actually take down Hashira just, I think, a week ago. Barely was a week ago when that did happen. And last but not the least, I think Big Scythe, a team to look at as well. One of the teams that we are very familiar with, that they have played quite a lot over the past few tournaments, I think. And a couple of other teams that we might be familiar with, Fuma Gaming. They are also a team coming from the Philippines that not necessarily have made that much of a big impression, that haven't really won a lot of those games yet, but they could still be one of the maybe dark horses and could throw in a couple of upsets here in this tournament.
For sure. I mean, that's the thing about Valorant, right? We're not exactly sure what could or could not happen. All these teams, they're still playing the game. They're still hitting the practice range, trying to improve. And one of these days, they just might become this sudden magical unicorn or beast to be able to take down one of the teams that have made an impression on us. We're never quite sure, but I have to agree with you. Top 4 on the list is definitely Wildfire, Sphinx, a bit of a wild card that one, but they have made some improvements. Then of course Hashira, Arakat Aresta, very unfortunate again. I just want to repeat it. Oasis Gaming Aqua. Unfortunately, although they have consistently made it to playoffs, they disbanded just before overtime started, and it sucks. It sucks to see that happen, but who knows? I mean, they just might come back with like some kind of reformed team to play in wildcard, and then they might qualify for Elite. So we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, you said it. Just it's unfortunate. It's really sometimes because you have this team that like in Oasis where they have the I'd say the tools, the ability to be able to take down really top tier teams, but then they're still unable to truly find the finishing touches to, find that coup de grace to take them into the maybe Elite. And they were struggling up against, Galaxy Racer. They were not, obviously they were getting stomped by, Alter Ego Celeste. So it's not really, yeah. But, the disbanding, it's a little bit of a heartbreaker right there. But let's talk about what we have right now. We do have a couple of really good teams starting off, and this is probably one of the most interesting matches we'll have today. We have Hashira going up against Wildfire Sphinx. That's what we have first. And the last time you casted this with Key, this actually went all 3 games. And it actually took us to a number of overtimes. As we take a look at the maps, we've got Split, Ascent, and Breeze. Do you think we'll see more of the same from last time? Or what are your thoughts on this one?
I don't know, man. It could. It certainly could. Last time they really did go all 3 maps, although the map selection went slightly different. I think in that one, Wildfire Sphinx were the team that actually won the coin toss. This time, it's Hashira who won it, so they're going with Split as their first choice. Unfortunately, we kind of did discuss this a little bit before we started the stream. They did not ban Ascent, and that I think is one of the maps that Wildfire Sphinx feels the most comfortable on. So that's Wildfire Sphinx's choice, of course. But the final one, the decider, is going to be none other than Breeze. So it's going to be interesting to watch how this all pans out. But the last time that they played, Wildfire Sphinx, I think they chose. No, they didn't choose Breeze. Hashira chose Breeze, and they actually won over Wildfire Sphinx. So, if I were in Wildfire Sphinx's that's quite a mouthful. Wildfire Sphinx's shoes, I would want to be a little bit more careful when I approach these maps.
I agree. I do think that this is a really good map selection for Hashira. They have made the right choices here. I think this is one of the best results, one of the best outcomes, because the last time that they faced off, I definitely think the maps went in favor of Wildfire Sphinx. But for Hashira this time, they got Breeze, a map that they're comfortable on. They got Split. And this is very much a map that they're very familiar with, a map that they're comfortable on. They know the roles quite well. And I think they might actually pull through here. But I do think it's going to be going into a 3-game series. Ascent, Wildfire, they're just way too good on it. I don't think there's any way that Hashira can beat them on it right now. But we'll find out. Of course, we're going into the agent select because we're ready to go into the game itself. Any predictions before we dive into the game here, Quack?
Yeah, I was just going to say real quick, last time they played on Split against Renata's White, they lost 13-4, really unfortunate, but they did go with an interesting team composition. They did have Japibs on the KO, and she is hovering over that agent right now. Will be very, very interesting to watch if she does go in for that. So now I'm excited because I love to invest in those KO stocks. I mean, Steel from 100 Thieves has been playing quite a number of Initiator, Sky, KO, and it's very, very fun to watch the things that you can do with this agent. I mean, aside from gathering intel, I think it's just very interesting if you actually can disable abilities and maybe make some aggressive plays because of that. But who knows what's going to happen. On the other side, though, Wildfire Sphinx, I don't think they have that much experience on Split. They don't really pick it that often, but they might have something interesting. I mean, look at this. We're seeing a double Sentinel come out. Cypher plus Sage. Any thoughts on that combo?
Yeah, it seems pretty straightforward here. The Cypher and Sage, I'd say it's fairly default, more or less. What's interesting to me here is that Hashira is going with a single duelist composition. They only have one duelist, and that's going to be Gachao. And the whole idea, and what's interesting to me is because they've picked this when they're on the attacking side. Which just goes to show that, on that one attack, the one entry, the one hard entry they have needs to be very much supported by every single player on the roster of Hashira. So it's going to be an interesting one here as we go and start the game here. First game of the day in the best of 3 is the upper bracket, by the way, for those of you who are just tuning in. And we have Wildfire Sphinx on the defense and Hashira on the attack.
So, Hashira on the attacking side, like you mentioned, I mean, they only got one duelist, but I think it's still a rather effective one, especially as a raise. Your Boombot, you can gather information, you can push along with it. It just does quite a bit, especially with their paint shells. If you time it, if you throw it into the correct spots, you can actually deny area quite effectively. So again, it does depend on how Hashira does approach the attack, but for now, it seems like it's going to be a B hit.
Yeah, it looks like everybody right now pretty much heading towards that B. They will be just breaking that wall towards mid, a little bit of a straight play. Just a straight up, just map control here towards mid. You got Scherzinger. trying to get some information, scout out B main here. Will not really see anybody except for the bot. That's going to give them a little bit of a false sense of security that the B hit might not be coming in, but it's going to be actually towards Heaven where they entry first. Key's going to get that opening pick onto Shirzea, and that's actually the anchor already out of the question right now. 4v5, the spike goes down, and they still have Gachao waiting in the wings here, biding her time. Swings out, but it's Xerath who gets the kill, brings us to a 4v4.
And Xerath now tossing the paint shells in towards the back of side. Might just flush someone out of position. She's even wrapping around the pillar, looking for a couple more with the dinks as well, taking Minji down. Now the third player falls. All that's left is going to be Plucky, all the way from Garage. Tries to stop the defuse from coming in, but Declaration just hitting those headshots. Man, Wildfire Sphinx, they make that retake look quite easy.
Indeed, just dismantling the crossfire. There was a pretty nice crossfire set up around pillar and back sight, but I do have to give it to Xerath. That nade really brought down. Yeah, wait, was that correct? Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, it brought Plucky down actually quite low. There was a lot of, HP lost, and even though the headshots didn't come in, they were adequately softened up, just so that retake was just that much easier. And that's the problem if you don't burn enough utility at the very start of the round. So the Hashira side, they pay the price for that for now. They're going to make the same approach yet again here.
Wow.
Going towards this B Heaven area. They have Luna to contend with, who does get spotted up. They know that she's propped up against this wall.
Oh.
So they're not going to contest it just yet. Instead, what they're going to do is head towards vents, but they're going to be swiftly met with a couple of nades here thrown at each other. It's a little bit of a game of volleyball, but Xerath comes out on top as her paint shell actually finds Gachao. Xerath looks for more, and we'll find yet again Key onto this one here. Luna still watching that other angle. The wall has not been dealt with, but it's Shirzea with a massive flank here towards Market, towards Ramen, to actually seal the deal on the round.
And that is just Wildfire Sphinx making quick work, making quick reads on towards the way that Hashira is playing. I mean, they might have gotten mid control, maybe slightly because Luna kind of gave it away, but they instantly read that, since mailroom is walled off, their only option is probably to go down vents, and making a lot of noise. I think Xerath heard it. She knew exactly where they were coming from. The paint shells completely stopped every single bit of aggression they threw towards A, and because of that, they were kind of stuck towards vents, and Shirzea knew exactly where to flank them. Coming into the third round right now, though, they have the rifles, and playing a little bit of a default, they want to hold on to their weaponry as best they can. Luna still playing safe as well. I think she just put the wall off in towards mailroom. So right now, Hashira just faced with a decision. Where do they want to go exactly?
They're just trying to burn out some utility, trying to get a little bit of map control. And the wall has been played very passively because they know that Hashira like to burn that wall down quickly towards mid. So what they're going to do is they're going to invest it instead towards mail, where it won't be so easily taken down, and still force them to, second guess themselves as to whether there can be somebody close left or close right. Not an easy clear by any means here. But the wall will go down. And they're going to try to make some progress here towards Heaven. It's a 3-2 split towards that B Heaven site. Now, it's a good paint shell brings Gachao down to 11 without even having seen anybody just yet. They're not going to be able to heal her up for now. She's going to make an inquisitive push here towards that Heaven's site. They will be leaving Gachao here towards that top mid. And because she was so low on HP, that Spectre just enough to do the damage.
And she was alone as well. So now this is information for WFX. They're thinking this could be a hit on either site, and Kiki position right here. We'll be able to get all of this footsteps, all that information. They know that they're trying to make a play in towards A at this point. Shirzea trying to reposition herself, going for a couple of trades maybe. She does find the first, but will not be able to collect on the second because of the rifles coming into this right now.
Oh no.
Sphinx, she's not giving space to breathe. Even as soon as the spike goes down, they're just rushing in. All that's left again, Plucky, 10 HP remaining, tries to use utility to pull Luna off, but Xerath will be able to take her down. A perfect 3-0 start for Wildfire Sphinx.
Yeah, see, my problem here for Hashira in that round is they got the kills, but they didn't take the map control. The moment they got a kill towards Heaven, towards ramp there, they didn't convert it into map control. And in that, what happened there is it allowed Wildfire Sphinx to actually regain control over it and get even more kills. Luna as well, just doing work with that Spectre. You know, it's just these small mistakes that Hashira are making that's really separating them from winning the rounds.
A little bit unfortunate, and what's even worse is the fact that they have to eco right now, and I mean, it's already 3-0, it could go even further. They have to make this one count, at the very least get the spike down, and that's what they're looking to do, rushing in towards A, and while Sphinx seem to have given this up, they're going to let them get the spike down, but so far so good, their retakes have been sublime. They're going to a couple of blind shots right now, a bit of a weird glitch for the Boombot. Kachao will be able to capitalize off of that. Shazinga falls, but Xerath is already hot on her heels, going in for this. Making quick work once more. 3 players already fallen off the side of Hashira. All that's left is Minji from elbow. And Xerath has her number, and she will dial it. 4-0 again. I mean, not too bad. They managed to get the spike down. They'll be able to buy back into the next. But what can they do to recover from this loss, Ilu?
I think that a lot of it is just the tiny mistakes that they have been making. I stressed it earlier on in the previous round here. And it just needs, for me, it's a little bit of a cleanup. And what is happening is really the mid-round decision-making is, I feel like, ill-informed. They get a lot of utility, sure, but they don't make the right reads off of the decision, off of the information that they have. Like, once they had, I mean, the fact that they left Kachao 1 to 10 HP a couple of rounds ago over there with just all alone basically on their rifle round in a close range area was, you know, a very big question mark. Yeah, it's like a free kill, especially up against Spectres. I definitely think they should have done a little bit better than that. So now instead what they're going to try to do, head on over straight towards A, and that's a good entry from Kachao. She gets control. She takes down that one player onto that A side, but they still have to deal with more. Shazinga does actually get the lockdown destroyed, but her position very much problematic here, making a lot of noise, having a lot of steps. Plucky knows that she's just around the corner. She actually gets the timing right, gets the spray down, and that's a beautiful kill. Bring us to a 3v5. This is the best chance thus far that Hashira has had to get up against Wildfire Sphinx, and Minji is going to double down on it even more, getting that kill onto Kiki, only leaving one, as Kachao will find her second kill, and that's going to be a flawless round from Hashira. Very much, I say a much cleaner and a much more well-approached round, much more tactical.
Yeah, very, very nice indeed. I mean, if the mid-round decision-making is not really quite working out, then let's just make a quick, hard-hitting, decision early round and just make the A rush happen. I mean, so far, Wildfire Sphinx has been playing a little bit of a, you know, methodical default 2-1-2 hold in towards mid and towards A and towards B. They just rush in, and maybe the previous round was a bit of a test when they were ecoing. This time, they're back in again. Xerath getting a little bit inquisitive, does get nailed down with a headshot. Still going in onto this. Hashira just rushing onto side once more. 2 players already gone from Wildfire Sphinx. They gain quick control. Same wall setup to block off screens. All they have to worry about right now is Ransom Heaven, and Plucky has this watch, but she falls to Kiki. The playmaker coming into this gets shut down by Kachao. Back into the 4v1, and Wildfire Sphinx is left with no one but Luna. Does have her res though, but she has to be careful about this because they might just be able to swing off of the ultimate.
Might just save the op though, and that might be a reasonable thing to do. Okay, the res is for eco here, but Luna almost able to line them up. Another shot with the operator coming through, but not landing true either, as Xerath will try to get a couple of exits here. Lands a nice shot onto Japeeps as she falls away off the angle, trying to go for those fadeaways. The utility will make things even more difficult, as it's gonna get out of dodge right now. Xerath, yet again, missing a nut opportunity. He does die to the spike, but they will save that operator, and all in all, it's not a bad round for Sphinx, especially after saving the operator.
But see, now the problem becomes, do they want to, you know, divert more resources to defending the A side? Because so far that has been their weakest defense. I mean, the past 2 rounds now at least, Hashira has been able to rush in all with the full force, all 5 players just blast packing, running in, walling off screen, and yeah, I think they're definitely making adaptations to this. I mean, look at where Xerath is positioned. If she's actually able to lock down this crossing, if there are no ultimates on the side of Hashira, it's going to be a big problem. First kill to start things off, getting the next. Ramp is being contested as well right now, and Hashira not quite sure how to deal with this. They're trying to play around the smokes, and Minji will be able to take Kiki down, but pushing past into this is going to be Japips.
Oh.
Takes Sherzinga. All of a sudden, this is a down to a 1v2. Luna not quite sure what to do right now. Lurking around Heaven, actually taking the spike carrier down. All that's left is Japips, and she does have this information. Still though, it's gonna be a duel of the guns. Luna has to be careful. That flash went a little bit too deep, but Luna still goes in for the peek, and Japips collects on her 4th kill for the round. Hashira still undefeated in this A push.
Off the back of Japips just murdering everybody, like cold-blooded killer right now is what she looked like. 4 kills, and that round looked like it was already crumbling away. Wildfire Sphinx, you know, getting a good feel of the attack of Hashira. But the thing, Hashira still, they were able to manage to break through, and a lot of it had to do with Japips just walking around on site, playing those smokes, just using that to her advantage and getting the kills on the top of it. Now, they're going to go to B instead because they feel like there's a little bit of weakness in their A push now. Wildfire Sphinx are going to double down on it, and they're going to go play a little bit more aggressive, already sending 1 player down for a lurk towards sewers. This actually might catch a couple players off guard. This might be 2 kills, especially with Spectre in Kiki's hands.
Oh my god, at the same time, Kiki's just pushing in towards sewers right now, gets the information that there isn't a single player hitting A, so she might just be able to pull off this flank, but Kachao shuts it down right quick. And because of this, it's going to be go time for Hashira as they make their way in towards the B site. Sherzinga tries to stop it, but again, you got to keep in mind, some of them are on Spectres, the rest of them on pistols. It's going to be tough for them to do this as Luna goes back in towards Heaven, gets shut down once more. Hashira looking at a flawless win right now. Sherzinga trying to make use of this little gap in the wall, but it gets smoked off. All that's left, 2 players, and they're not quite sure what to do.
I mean, she could get through this wall. It's a matter of whether she'd like to. And Japips, oh, she knows. She sees the barrel of the gun. Doesn't want to get too close because she knows that it's potentially lethal up close.
Whoa! Still lethal, the Spectre as well. Actually able to get one, but at the very least it's just some, I guess, minor economic damage on towards Hashira. But still, this is their 4th round in a row winning right now. And if I were Wildfire Sphinx, you gotta think, what's going wrong? I mean, earlier they were kind of banking on A, even sending Kiki into that deep lurk, but it just doesn't pay off.
I actually think that kill onto that Sage, onto Minji actually works out in their favor. It just because they have so much money to rebuy anyway, and the closer that she gets to her ultimate, the better. So that's already one more tick off the box for that ultimate. So counter A push. This is for that high, tripwire. That's for the raise. That's for the raise right there. But let's see if it actually works. Doesn't actually work right now. Somehow Kachao gets over it, and they manage to find themselves yet again successfully onto that A side.
Still though, they gotta get control really quick. Minji already falling means no walls. They gotta count on the extra stars to block off vision, block off any form of control coming in from Wildfire. Xerath, though, making use of this, just blast packing in, able to collect on 1. We're back into the 3v3. Killjoy lockdown is the main thing that's stopping them for now, but you gotta keep in mind, this creates space, and Kachao will be able to push in the screens. Almost drops dead, but still able to take Luna down. Quickly picks up the Vandal. That's the 2nd kill right now. Looking for the last one, and that's Declaration stuck onto Heaven at this very moment. Plucky coming in from ramps. It's gonna be 5 wins in a row and counting.
The first shot from Kachao, a little bit off the mark, but she makes up for it with a banger of a 2nd shot onto the head of Sherzinga. Good entries from her as she manages to successfully open up that A yet again. And this A side hold from Wildfire, they need to, I think, change it up a little bit. They need to find a way to stifle that push. Because thus far, what's been happening is they actually, Kachao has just been getting onto the site without really that much of a problem. No matter the traps, no matter the setups from the Cypher, they still somehow get on and they control it. Now, what's the solution? What's the way to address this? Do they put more bodies on towards A? Do they leave it for retake? It looks like their answer for now is going to be to stack 3, maybe 4 here towards this A side push.
You gotta think about their agent composition as well. I mean, the best that a Cypher can do is tripwires, so it's not really working out for them right now, but at the very least, with a little bit of gunfire, they actually managed to push Hashira back off and in towards mid, in towards B garage, and they just want to make the quick play happen. Still though, information plenty for Wildfire. Luna is able to pick up the first frag, and that's the entry fragger gone. The pit still going in for this though, and a nice, well-placed Astra Star. The gravity wall sucks in players, but Sarah still makes quick kills happen. It's up to Kiki now as she takes Plucky away. Spike will not get planted, and Wildfire Sphinx starting to come back. This is the first round they won after losing 5.
That was a good read right there from Wildfire to shut down that Hashira rotation. They knew that a lot of the utility for Hashira on that take was already expended. They just simply capitalized on it. They won their aim duels, and we got to point it out, man. Kiki with a great hold towards that backside, not really missing a beat there. Just able to shut down Hashira completely. So Hashira might just be going for, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They might just go for yet again another complete A hit.
Certainly. I mean, only 2 agents to stop them right on the A site, Cypher plus Omen, and they could just walk right through those smokes. So, I don't know, maybe they gotta disrespect them smokes a little bit more. Maybe even with those tripwires, they kind of were just playing the Olympics high jumping game earlier on. Maybe do the same thing. Still though, taking a look at the mini-map, Kiki already pushing past Garage. This is a lot of information for Wildfire Sphinx. They know it's going to be an A-hit at this point. Only thing is, how will they gain control over this site? They just walk past the crossing in towards the site on zone, and Declaration coming in from elbow, actually able to take up 2. Does drop the key though, and now Scherzinga, because they didn't gain ramp control again, she's able to find a couple more, but Plucky, just lurking over by the corner, comes up big with a double kill. 2v2 now, and the spike has gone down.
Yeah, they know that the flank is likely, the flank is possible. Plucky has to get the timing right. She does. She finds 1, and that's going to be the 3rd kill for her. So this is Plucky's round. She gets around the corner, back to safety, knows that Sarah is hunting her. Sarah actually does get the kill, but she's on to 30. So 30 HP. Still has to deal with the Nano Swarm. Still has to deal with a player potentially holding on to elbow. But all this means is that he can bide her time. He can just wait. He can just... It's a little bit awkward, but still should be the kill in the end. Enough time, and that's going to be it. The round now advantage. And finally the lead going here to Hashira as they take on the first lead for the first time in this game up against Wildfire on their attacking side. So these are really good signs, Quack, for Hashira right now.
Incredibly strong rushes, and I don't think Wildfire Sphinx has kind of found an answer yet. I mean, thus far, it came close, but only because Declaration and Scherzinga were able to find a couple more frags because Ramps wasn't getting controlled by Hashira. But when it comes down to it, they're still winning these duels. And Wildfire Sphinx, they don't quite have the utility to stop this. I mean, certainly they're maybe thinking about pushing the stage on towards A, but then they lose that little bit of, mid control with the wall and whatnot. So right now it's just back to the same old game, and they're thinking about it. They're not quite sure, and you can see that Scherzinga as well as Declaration just playing these very, very defensive positions on the site, not going for any information plays or aggressive peaks. The rest of the team, though, what are they doing? Will they actually be able to go a little bit more aggressive and figure out where Hashira wants to hit them?
Look, man, they're just going to keep walking into A. They're just going to keep doing the exact same thing. Because if it ain't broke, man, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they're just going to repeat, rinse, repeat, hit A. And if it works, they're just going to keep letting it happen. And Clara with a good kill, but Minji with an even better refrag. Now, they're going to leave Kachao up in here towards heaven to get the timing on the swing. Lands onto 1, but that's all she gets. As Luna gets the kill and the revive here, bring us to a 3v3. But the revive also available for Hashira. No one really to revive for now. Nothing necessary as Plucky gets a double spray down right there. Luna and Kiki left rock, but they still have to deal with Sereth. Sereth standing in this 1v2. Knows where 1 is, but it's key to finish her off 7-5. Hashira take the lead, take the half. And that's a 2-round lead. Hashira looking this much better.
They are really getting me going. I mean, take a bow, a round of applause for Hashira because they figured out Wildfire Sphinx's weakness. They figured out that, A side's kind of the weak point, and they just kept going in. I mean, you said it yourself, rinse and repeat. It's not broken, so they just kept going in for it. And Wildfire Sphinx, they might have gotten the reses, but it's just not quite enough. I mean, when it comes down to it, the retake game has been a little bit weak. They're not quite sure how to work in together as a team. I mean, you're seeing them go into these 1v1s. I mean, even, I guess, Scherzinga dropping off really early on was kind of a detriment to Wildfire Sphinx. But now, enough of that. They're swapping over to the next half, and they're on the attack this time. They want to make the same B hit happen that Hashira attempted in the first round. Can they actually make it happen, though? Paint Shell's already going in, and that just pushes them far back. Luna getting tagged down really low, has to use the heal ARP on herself. But this is big information for Hashira, and you can see the rotates happening.
Yeah, the rotate right now is to just heal to top off Kachao yet again. But they're gonna send him back, and they're gonna send all their players way back to where they came from. Just a little bit of a time to reset for the both of these squads. Sereth and right now just to poke and prod away at this A site as they get into ropes. They actually manage to find their way in, but Chapeeps knows that it's a very likely possibility. We'll spot two. And the swing out just completely falls apart here as Minji unable to get a kill. Kachao does, however, on the other side of the map. But this is A side already in complete control of Wildfire Sphinx. So this retake, very much difficult. Scherzinga, though, very low on HP. If Kachao can even land a body shot. Oh, the timing! It almost goes awry for the both of them, but Kachao was the one who had her gun out. And that's really all it took at that one. Close range with low HP. Luna is able to... Oh, not able to take that kill, rather. It's Plucky who does get it. It's still a 3v2. This favors Hashira quite a lot. 2v3, low HP, though. Onto Kachao, who does drop. Sereth and Kiki, and Sereth and Kiki is all it needs. As they clean up the retake, and they get Wildfire Sphinx to a 6-7. They're in prime position to tie this game up.
The two sharpest fraggers on this side of Wildfire. I mean, take a look at this kill, the scoreboard right now. 16-8, 9-9. There's a reason why they're at the top 2 spot, and they show it. I mean, I did not think that they had it, but they actually made it work. I mean, holding it from elbow, holding it from the side itself. They just took those players down when it came down to the aim duels, and I think that's where Hashira need to be a little bit more careful. They were trying to go for the execute. I mean, they were trying to time their push together, but it just wasn't enough. This time, though, they're going in aggressively down mid. It's going to be an all-out duel, all-out brawl as Plucky only manages to find one. The Spectres are having a field day right now, and Scherzinga, with the run-and gun, will spray down 2 players, getting the headshot onto Kachao as the final one. 7-7, Elu.
That's definitely a confidence boost right there for Scherzinga, who is not exactly having the best game right now. So it does help to get those these kills that will, snowball her. And the kills that she got in that last round actually propelled her to the second slot. She's now in the second slot for fraggers. Earlier was Sereth and Kiki. Now she's actually managed to get way up there. And that will allow her confidence as the controller to maybe play a little bit more aggressively, to maybe go for those frags that she wouldn't have otherwise. And as a player who plays a lot of controller myself, it's a very big deal that you can play controller and get those pickoffs, and that you don't just stay back and hold very passively the whole time. It's a massive kill here for Kachao. She actually manages to get the kill onto Kiki. Whoa! Low HP, and look at the confidence on her. Sereth just gets rocked right there. Kachao from up and above, annihilated and shut down, but so does Minji. In this corner here, no chance for a refrag right now. Good nade as it falls right now. Look at this, Scherzinga almost dies to it. Can get healed up though.
Yeah, there's a heal, but it only tops her off as Chapiz goes back in for even more. They're trying to hunt her down.
Oh, they're chasing so hard.
In fact, it's a bit of a bait and switch because look at the map. Her teammates have rotated around. So Wildfire Sphinx, they have to pump the brakes. They have to be a little bit more careful about their executions. In fact, rotating back towards B, I think it might be a little bit telegraphed. Kachao definitely thinking about pushing upstairs. Plucky, though, is the one anchoring down the B side. If she doesn't... Yeah, she hears the drop, but... Oh, actually able to take the spike carrier down. That has definitely bought enough time for her team to come in and support this. Kachao going in, though, will get taken down by Luna. And we're back into the 2v3. Still, 15 seconds left, and they haven't got the spike down yet. Scherzinga trying to do what she can. Will be able to pick up one. Spike gets planted. And because of her position on Raptor, she finds yet another. Plucky, though, taking Luna down from Garage. We're back into the 1v1. Both players down to red HP. Paranoia pushes Plucky away for a second. She holds the angle, and she comes in with the swing. The triple kill in the round. And of course, the win 8-7. Man, lucky.
This is just Plucky's game. This is just Plucky's game, Quack. I mean, Japeeps came in with an amazing 4K, and Kachao was having a lot of good entries, but this is still Plucky's game. She has been on fire here. The only person really who can match Plucky at the moment is Sereth, who has also been putting up the numbers, actually even more so. And that's not really a surprise here, because Sereth is just gonna do Sereth things all day, every day. But the fact that we're talking about Plucky, and normally when we talk about Plucky, it's usually Japeeps that we talk about, but to say that the controller Plucky, their controller player, is popping off like that's a very good sign here. But I'm gonna go for a wall yet again. It's gonna be melted down, and will get punished for that. So yeah, little bit ill-advised, as all of the members from Wildfire Sphinx just shut down that push completely. Plucky in this corner will actually get a sneaky kill. Not! Oh no! Just completely blind.
If only trigger discipline perhaps, but unfortunately wasn't meant to be. Kachao though, still able to find yet another on towards heaven. Might be able to pick up the weapon as well. Still, it's a 3v4 situation, and every single player coming in from heaven just means that it's a little bit easier for Wildfire Sphinx to hold this. You gotta be careful about this though. Kachao does have her showstopper, and if she times this right, she might just be able to get a couple more players going in for this now. I'm waiting for the blast pack. She's going in for it blinded towards the back of sight, and it doesn't connect onto anyone. So right now, just a firing range for Wildfire Sphinx. They're able to take down every single player with headshots.
Look at the HP though onto Wildfire. They were all so low, and I have to give it honestly, that was a lot of misplay, I'd say, from Hashira. Because it was the flash from Japeeps that blinded Kachao. Kachao actually was already onto that site. So if that was a little bit better timed, I would have said that that play actually could have led to a retake. But unfortunately, Kachao gets caught off in position, gets flashed by her own teammate, and just they pay the price for it. Still a decent bonus, however, and Hashira will still have enough weaponry to go up and contest against Wildfire. No, they won't. Zico.
Zico, classics. You gotta be careful now. Information is gonna be retrieved by Japeeps, but she goes back in working around the smoke, and Kiki with the better weapon can just take her down so easily. Overheal as well, and this is just quick control over heaven, over sight. All that's left, Minji coming in with the rotations from A. Goes in there with the lurk though.
Oh no,
How this is the spray. So that just
she's gonna get it.
Yeah, weapon given away. But still, they're actually trying to hunt her down. Kiki already pushing up into mailroom. Minji is definitely quaking in her boots, hugging the walls, hugging the corner, but Kiki just comes in to collect her fourth.
Expecting a flank coming in there, but not expecting that Kiki would push so quickly. And instead, it's going to be the lead yet again stolen back by Wildfire as they once more retain control. It's going to be a timeout here as they do need a minute to breathe. They do need a couple of minutes to think here on the Hashira side about where to go and how to handle this, because they have lost a couple of rounds in a row. They lost the pistol. You know, nothing's really going Hashira's way. And it's a good time for a timeout. It's like not too late to do anything, but just before the danger strikes, just before Wildfire gets the double digits.
Yeah, right. I mean, right now they get a full buy as well. And maybe with the utility, they get to think and just kind of deliberate about where and how exactly they want to set this up. So far, it has seemed like Japeeps is the one to push up in towards mid, maybe going for a couple of flash plays or getting some information. I mean, with the perfect setup, the way that most people play around mid, right? You would have your controller, your smoker, to smoke out the top of mid, smoke out ropes, and you know, it's just for that little bit of mid control. But with an initiator, with an agent like KO, you can actually flash out of this. If you have someone to support you along with that as well, you might just be able to come up with a big play. But who knows? At the same time, they do have that, you know, Starfragger, Plucky. She's been reading the game pretty well. It's just that couple of unfortunate moments where it doesn't just quite go her way. I mean, her start placements, the way she uses them has been quite effective, but let's see what happens this round. For now, it's just going to be a pretty Similar setup to what we saw previous round. Astra still on B, Sage on A. In fact, walling off ramps is going to be a bit of a question mark.
Indeed, as they look like they're going to have a little bit of an awkward, an off formation here towards A. He might actually be in a spot of trouble here. Or
Wow.
she might actually get away with a kill. This is good for her. Pulls out the turret. Oh, not enough. Doesn't come out in time. The refrag too quick. But here towards mid, have... Okay, a lot of utility will be deployed. That just clears out Robin completely. But this just means that A site is very much open to the taking because they spotted out 2 players towards mid. They know that they got a kill towards A. So what's the plan here from Wildfire? They head on over and go towards that A site. They could go for the res, and that would be a good res to go for. But it looks like a Chow wants to pick a fight, wants to pick up a lot of fights here. She nails 2, she locks them down, gets behind the stage, she finds a 3rd before she even drops. The hold from Kachao, bailing out Hashira in what could have been a very bad round for them. They're able to equalize and yet again find a tie.
My God, Kachao, it's just coming up huge, knowing exactly when and where to peek. I mean, she already got the information. I'm curious to see why Wildfire Sphinx, with this timing, deciding to go for the showstopper. No one really watching or nailing down ramps control. They kind of left it open, and Kachao was able to capitalize on that. In fact, I think it shut down Zera's ultimate. She does not get to use it. Completely wasted. So back into this 9-9. Hashira get a chance to ride and build up on momentum right now. Still though, with the hold, Kachao holding a judge this time in towards Mailroom. Wildfire Sphinx needs to be careful checking their corners, but they get a little bit careless.
No way! Oh, you hate to see it. The double kill upgrades to a Vandal. Free upgrades. As she spots Scherzinger around that corner right there. They're going to try to make it a little bit more difficult for her. She does have showstopper, and you know she's thinking about it. You know she's looking at the ground. She's thinking about it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, she's going to do it. Oh, wait. She didn't pull out the showstopper. Doesn't matter. It's Japeeps to get the cleanup. Triple kill right there off the back of a little bit of an awkward play. They make it work. And what was a little bit weird, actually, sometimes happy little accidents, as Bob Ross would say.
Yeah, happy little accidents are saved. And it's just, this is the second time that Kachao has done something like this. The blast packs to go up vertically.
Hey, I'm gonna get everyone to look at me. You kill everybody that looks at me. I don't know. I think that's what the plan was.
Why not? Why not? I mean, if you don't have a Sky to throw out the Hawk and force them to look away, just throw your body at them.
Yeah, throw your raise.
Throw your raise, exactly.
Raise is a flash now.
You gotta turn away, man. Oh, you're never quite sure what a raise could do when she's blast packed up. But the main thing is, Wildfire Sphinx's economy has been crumpled. And, same old thing. Mage Punk Specters, couple of pistols. They're going in for this A control right now, and no one really is here to contest this, maybe except for Minji. She's all the way up on Heaven, though.
I really like this.
5v5 retakes.
This really works for Hashira because they have, look at that, they have 5 ultimates. They're gonna use it to retake. Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're gonna. No, it does matter. That's the res gone. I take that back. That's a very important kill for Wildfire. They're gonna try to take even more map control right here as Wildfire. They managed to take away the entirety of the spawn. No one's contesting. No one's challenging. Hashira a little bit too worried that their player's close on this angle, so they won't exactly be fighting tooth and nail for it right now because the lockdown deployed. Lucky. Oh no, the timing doesn't go her way, and neither does it for Key. Hashira, they've dropped the ball completely, which should have been a round for them. Just falls to the wayside. Japeep's going down as well. Kachao looking to be the agger, looking to turn things around, looking to save her team, but can't do it. As it's Wildfire Sphinx to come up with a surprise victory. And coming up, what? Where did that come from?
That was a huge error. I'm not quite sure. I mean, they had the perfect play. I mean, the perfect arsenal, all the ultimates. Lockdown was even in play, but it just comes down to these minor unfortunate accidents. You know, with the timing on Plucky with the utility. Minji as well trying to go in for the peak. Unfortunately, just gets shut down by Scherzinger with the Sheriff. And you have to credit Wildfire Sphinx because they knew exactly how to counter around that. I think they even used their utility to deal with the lockdown, maybe. The way that they forced all 3 members down in towards screens, it was awesome. But this time around, they're making a rush happen in towards B instead. Seraph does get slowed down by the gravity well, though. But they're trying to push it around the corner this time. The Boom Bot, a bit of a distraction, is going to allow Kiki to take the kill on towards Plucky. 5v4, and they have control over the site. 8 shells in towards stairs as well, just for a little bit more control. Kiki trying to make her best plays. Unfortunately gets shut down by Japips. Down into the 3v4 though. How do they retake this Elu?
It's difficult. They're gonna have to land some nutty shots, and doesn't look like anything's landing just yet.
Ooh.
There we go. That's the one that they were looking for, 3v3. It allows them the potential for this retake. It allows them to get on the site, and Japip's work in the back. Tries to get them closer, but Kachao is here. 1v1, has the paint shell. Time is ticking away. I don't think she's got the time. Oh, she does! What is that shot from Kachao? Where did that even come from? Triple kill. Does she have the time? And it looks like she's gonna get it. Hashira found 11 off a ridiculous clutch right there from Kachao.
What the heck was that, Kachao? This is not FSL Elite, this is overtime. This is
What?
This is not major. What the heck? Okay, let's take a look at this. Paint shells.
No
wasn't
way.
even there. Just rushes.
No,
it.
what?
The headshot. What on earth was that?
What? That is ridiculous.
That
Oh.
flipped.
Now Kachao's probably rocked up. She's no way I just did that. She's probably thinking, oh my god.
I don't know if it was a bit of a gamble or what, but I guess maybe at that close range, you can count on the fact that it's going to be tough for your opponent to hit you. At the same time, she was really low HP, but regardless, right now, Wildfire Sphinx just going in for the 8 hits. They're trying to do the same thing that Hashira did against them earlier on, but they got to be careful about this. Kiki trying to push past screens. The Nano Swarm doesn't quite catch her. Still, though, crosshair a little bit off. The Pips will be able to take her down. And now it's down to the 4v4 once more.
Time not on their side. Gotta make do with what they've got. But Kachao, yet again, will find the opening pick. And it's Plucky to follow it up. Seraph and Scherzinger, they're doing the work now in the backlines too. And it's all up to Plucky. At the moment with 56 HP. Waits for the timing. Just doesn't get the swing right. Doesn't get the timing right. Now they're going to try to play this position. It's planted open, so it's difficult here for Plucky. But Scherzinger with a triple kill will once more bring us into equilibrium. And we'll find ourselves on 11-11. This game is just delivering, Quack.
My god, Scherzinger. The jiggle piece from her from elbow was pretty darn smart. I mean, she wasn't even looking for a kill just to get that information. And because Plucky kind of fired a couple of shots, it gave her position away, they knew exactly where to look. And with 2 players in towards side from elbow, they were able to kind of force Plucky to be distracted. She wasn't quite sure where to look, and ultimately she fell to her demise. Still though, this time around, Hashira not giving up just yet. In fact, they're going in for that sort of half-ish buy. We do see Kachao on the judge, holding the off angle. If I were Wildfire Sphinx, you gotta think twice about the rush.
They've snapped it. Look at this. This might really work out in their favor.
God.
Kachao here. Oh, Kachao once more! And it's with the judge this time. Pulls out the showstopper to the face of Scherzinger. Ridiculous kills from Kachao. And she's managed to bring it all the way back. There is a res. We'll be getting that 3v3. They look to deny it for now, but they can't. But look at this long flank. All the way from the back here. Declaration might just be the linchpin that they need.
Could she be? If she goes in for this, she might either be able to get a couple of picks, maybe be able to force a bit of a distraction while the rest of the team push towards A instead. Right now, though, she's definitely banging them up a little. Still intent on hitting towards the B site. They are going in for this. The heal might just be able to give them that additional bit of support, but wait. They're just gonna go from spawn towards A instead. Declaration, though, what is she doing? She wants to cut them off on a rotate. She finds the first one, tries to spray it on the second. Unfortunately, falls to Minji. Does get the kill. The rest comes back in as well, and they might just be able to pick up a couple more
10
weapons.
seconds left.
Still, goes back into the 3v2
Spike
retake.
planted.
What do you make of this, Elu?
It's a judge in her hands. Not exactly the best weapon to take into a retake, but she'll take it for now. Might be able to swap on over, and I think she does, but we'll be going to a 3v2 retake here onto A. Kiki holding this heaven angle. They're going to let Minji do the entering because she does have the judge in her hands. So they're going to work their way onto side. Kiki hears the footsteps. Knows that one has sneaked up, but it's Japeeps to land the kill onto Kiki. Wonderful refrag here, and they're just going to swarm onto that site. Hashira, they find match point. It was a sloppy round, but in the end, they thrive in the chaos.
Do they? I mean, you gotta recall back to the early moments of that round. Ka-chow with the judge. They know exactly how to play off of this. I mean, it was a little bit chaotic, sure. They weren't quite sure that, or how exactly Declaration came around the back. But, you know, that's just kind of what happens when you have a full 5-man stack on the site itself. You don't really have the best map control. Some places might get leaked, but they knew exactly how to work together as a team. I mean, with a numbers advantage, the way that they were able to lock down A Heaven, the way they were able to push and swarm outside of screens and elbow, it just became a little bit tougher for Wildfire Sphinx. So here it comes. It is match point, and Wildfire Sphinx are going to be faced with a bit of a dilemma right now. It's definitely tense. They want to bring this into overtime, but they're not quite sure how to do it.
Blade goes down immediately after it's thrown out, so not going to give that much information, only that there is one. But this bait and switch play right now, Hashira have set up a 3-man play, and Japeeps, he gets the first pick right now. Xiao looking to swing out wide yet again just to get information. Nobody here. Nobody to receive. It's only Sherzinga. Now we'll be backed up. Now they have Sereth as well working this angle, looking to deny.
Oh no.
But after this, that's Japeeps with her ultimate. Is not able to get one. It's actually Sereth who does, but still they can res her if possible. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen because Sereth and Ka-chow yet again. Cuckoo Kachu. Here we go as it's Sherzinga trapped in this corner and up against the judge. It's Ka-chow one more time. How many kills will she get with this judge? It's uncanny. Now Luna all alone in a 1v3 will try to take us to overtime.
Oh my
yet
God.
again, Ka-chow, what on earth? She's the bait, she's the killer, she's everything that Hashira needs right now. And she takes the map alongside her team. And Hashira will go and take the first game of the series.
What? Do we just witness Elu? What I say about the sky, the flashes, you just need a raise to throw at your opponents as bait. I mean, when it comes down to it, you know, you saw that one play with a headshot, with a Vandal, this time with the judge as well. Ka-chow is just flying all over the place, man. And Wildfire Sphinx weren't quite sure how to respond, especially on the attack. So
Like, what do you do?
13, dude.
What do you do when you see Ka-chow like flying like around your head? And
At that height too, like
at
it's
that height, you
vertical
have to look
crosshair
at it.
displacement.
And then by that time you got Japeeps and like, you know, who swang on that last? I think it was Plucky to get the last kill. But yeah, so much to deal with. 6 first bloods onto Ka-chow. You have to point out, absolutely massive.
Some of those
in that
first
game.
bloods came on the defensive side.
Oh yeah. Actually, a lot of those first bloods, I think, were on the defensive side. A lot of those first bloods were actually the entries towards A side earlier in the half, in the game at the first half. But you're right. You're absolutely right. On the defensive side, those judge plays, just absolutely just disgusting.
Just when you think their economy wasn't looking too healthy, she just buys up a judge. Sometimes that's all you need, especially in towards B Heaven where it's like a tiny area. A lot of these small corners. If you don't check them, they just come back to punish you, and that's Ka-chow doing her thing. At the same time, I mean, you got to consider if a raise just comes flying at you at that height, at that range. If you don't track your crosshair onto her, if you don't take her down, then you're kind of leaving yourself exposed. At the same time, if her teammates push along with that, it's so punishing. And This is Hashira doing their thing. This is why they picked Split as their map. Still, though, you gotta credit Wildfire Sphinx. They made it pretty darn close. 11-13, Elu.
I do think that this could have went either way. Like Wildfire almost had it. They almost took this game, and it makes for such a great game. This is one of those, these two teams, they're just so close in like their levels and how good that they are, which makes a very interesting game each time you watch it. Now, the last time we went into overtime, I thought we were actually going to go into overtime yet again, just not today. But like I said, these two teams so close in terms of that skill that they both have. And this just makes for very, very interesting Valorant every time. But now we're going to go back to our faces. Hello, welcome back, everybody. You're joining me, Illustrado, and this is, of course, Wank. On our panel here today, we've got a great first game. And up next, we do have Ascent. So before we go into a little bit of a short break, I'm going to ask you real quickly, any thoughts about what's going to go down for Ascent?
Man, I'm not quite sure. Last time they played, Wildfire Sphinx took it, and I think it was kind of convincingly as well. I mean, 13-9. It can be a little bit scary for Hashira at times, but if they keep this up, I mean, with the way that they played on attack, with the way that Kachao just flies onto site, Wildfire Sphinx might not be able to deal with this, but at the same time, I mean, this kind of comes down to a little bit of agent compositions. I mean, if Declaration goes for that Killjoy pick instead of Cypher, it might be a little bit different. The turret will be able to stop the Rays from blast packing on the side a little bit, something like that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But we'll dissect the game a little bit later on. We do have to take a little bit of a breather. When we do come back, we're going to be starting with game number 2. Hashira in the lead, Wildfire Sphinx to come up next. It's their map choice, so it's a great chance to take us into game number 3. Will we see it? Or we'll be seeing a 2-0 here for Hashira as they look to take revenge up against Wildfire Sphinx, who did take them out last time. I'm Lustrado, this is Quack, and we'll be back in just a second. Don't go anywhere. VCT Game Changers will return.
from the overclockable key processor line for desktops to the U processor line with integrated graphics. Intel has a product for the hardcore PC gamer and streamer, as well as the gamer on the go.
Welcome back. Game number 1. It's in the bag as Hashira secure the first game of the series in this best of 3. Now we're going into the second map, which is going to be the pick of Wildfire Sphinx, and it's going to be Ascent. You're joining me, Illustrato, and alongside me, the ever amazing Quack. How are you feeling today? What are you feeling about game number 2, man?
Game number 2 is going to be a little bit more different, I have to say. Ascent is not exactly the same. You don't have the same, A heaven, B heaven coming in on that on the map. So maybe we might not see as many judge hijinks, but again, it does come down to a bit of strategy. The last time that these two teams played the Wildfire Sphinx, they tend to stick with their current composition quite a bit. Maybe a difference in Sentinels or whatnot, but more often than not, you do have Xerath on the duelist role. You do have Shirzenga on the controller role. The only thing is she tends to go for Omen a lot more, maybe sometimes Brimstone, but I'm not quite sure if you want to do that on Ascent. Hashira, on the other hand, they love Plucky on the Astra. The rest of the team just doing their thing, so I'm not quite sure how this is going to pan out. It might just be a repeat. It comes down to a bit of strategy, a bit of maybe who makes the least mistakes.
I agree. There were a lot of, honestly, mistakes on the attacking side of Hashira as well. Back when, back when they were playing split on the first half, there was honestly a lot of mistakes. And what they did to adjust there really worked out for them. And they just simplified it. Just hit A. Hit A every single time. Bang your head up against that wall until it breaks. And it did. That netted them the first advantage in that game. But there were a lot of great plays as well in that second half. I do want to point out one of the players that I really feel stood out for me, Shirzenga. So many great holds, so many triple kills. And even though there were a couple of times she got caught with her utility out, most of the decision-making coming from her, most of the positioning was actually on point to net them a lot of good defensive rounds. That, coupled with a really good performance from the rest of her team, was actually able to make us think that for a second this might go to overtime.
Actually, it almost did. Up until the point the Kachao started buying the judge. Then it's just kind of all right. If I had like a pile of papers and notes here, I'd just throw them all up. But it's gonna be different. I have to say, Ascent. There's a reason why Wildfire Sphinx picked this. It's a lot more open, and I think they prefer that. On the other hand, though, I mean, next map, if it does go to a third, is also going to be Breeze. And Hashira, I think they did note down that they kind of like these open maps too. They love to go for those aim duels, and they have proven to be pretty sharp at times as well. So I think the micro decisions really have to be very crucial here. I mean, they have to be careful about how they make them. You don't want to get caught out with utility. You don't want to make all those tiny minor mistakes, things that go down to just really unfortunate timing sometimes. So moving in towards Agent Select right now, Elu, it does seem like they are sticking to the same exact agent composition that they had the last time they played together on this map.
I really like a Chow on the Raze, actually. It just did so much for her team. Now we're going to be seeing her go back onto the Jet. And while Kachao on that Jet is actually still pretty fair, still good. But it's pretty different as to like the impact that she had on that Raze earlier on. But I could be proven wrong yet again. Now on the other side, like you said, Wildfire Sphinx, not really a team that likes to experiment a lot. They go with what works for them, and then they stick with their guns. So we're seeing almost exactly the same lineup that we saw earlier on. I think it's exactly the same as in the previous game, wasn't it?
Almost the same, I guess.
I think Clara was the only one on.
Yeah, she
Sky.
was a Cypher.
Cypher. Yeah, Cypher. Excuse me. Yeah.
This time on
and Luna
Sova.
was on the Sage.
That's right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
back onto Killjoy now. I'm not sure. I mean, the last time they played this, it actually worked out pretty well for them, 13-9. The only thing that I
Yeah.
do want to point out though is they actually lost the first pistol. But Wildfire Sphinx actually brought it back. They went in with the Force Spy. So that's something, if you're Hashira, you got to look out for that. Because Wildfire Sphinx, sometimes they go for those Force Spies and it can actually catch you off guard.
Well, let's go ahead and see how things play out, guys. It is game number 2, Hashira versus Wildfire Sphinx. And Hashira lead the series 1-0, but this is Wildfire's pick. This is Ascent. This is probably their best map. And I'm expecting, Quack, I think this is going to go to game number 3 if I'm going to make any predictions right off the bat.
I might just have to agree with you. I'm not sure, but I just want to see a third map because these two teams have incredibly fun performances whenever they clash, like you said earlier on, and it just might happen again. Interestingly enough, though, I'm just taking a look at the map selections. Hashira actually decided to go for the attack. Now, does that strike you as anything interesting or
No,
peculiar?
I think it's because I think it's because Hashira, they want to sort of play to their own pace at the very beginning. And one way to do that is to start on the attacking side. You get to dictate the pace of the game a little bit more. You get to, you know, go where you want to go. You get to set up and execute when you feel like you should. So maybe this will help them feel a little bit more comfortable on a map like Ascent that they clearly are not as comfortable on, and that Wildfire Sphinx just thrive in.
Could be, could be. I mean, you do get to dictate the flow, and that's a very good thing to start off of. And I mean, being proactive, you kind of force your opponents to react, and that might work out for them because looking at how Wildfire Sphinx played defense earlier on, there were times where they just weren't quite sure how to respond to things. I mean, we saw the A rush happen. It happened so many times in a row, and they just didn't know how to stop it. If things go the same way this time, we might not see a third map, but regardless, that's a very lovely, cute heart shape being drawn by Declaration right
Aw.
now. Clip that as well.
Cute. I wonder what else you can. Oh, it's gone already, isn't it?
Aw.
Sometimes hearts just
You
break.
can always draw the faces with your melee weapons.
Oh yeah, with a knife. Knife. All right, so we will be currently on a technical issue because you can't spell Southeast Asia without. You can't spell technical pause without SEA. No matter what tournament, it just is what it is. I mean, look, because of the fact that we are separated by literal ocean, you know,
Yeah.
it's just the nature of what's up. We're not like a landmass like NA or EU where we're like right beside each other. We have oceans to cross if we want to make this happen.
Still trying to make it happen for sure. And I think, well, while the players are, I don't know, kind of jumping around on objects in the map, for now, I guess we could kind of talk about, maybe talk about the new map, huh? Fracture, have you seen the layout of it yet?
You know what? I actually really like Fracture. I actually think it's a lot of fun, like at the very start of the round. I mean, like
Did
at
you
the,
get to
it's a
play
very. I haven't gotten to play it. I think we might be able to play it. Because like apparently anyone who's involved with like VCT, including
yeah.
Game Changer, should like. I think you posted the link actually.
I think the players
So maybe
can.
we'll
I'm
get
not
to
sure
try
if the
it.
casters could, but
Yeah.
someone did
Yeah.
leak the mini map actually on
Yeah, I
Reddit.
saw it, and it looks
looks really
fun. Like
weird.
you start in the middle, and then you just okay. This is what we're gonna do at the start of the round. Let's say I'm on the defensive side. Okay, this is what we do: 2 players go A, 2 players, 3 players go B, whatever, and then we'll go from there. You know, and then they figure out their positions, and then the attackers they sort of work their way like in this weird H thing.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how it's gonna go, but it looks interesting. I am very much open-minded when it comes to these things. So
For
when we saw Breeze come out, we saw like, you know, the style of very like CS style maps come out, you know, in Breeze and Icebox.
Mhm.
And now that we're on what's the name of the map? Fracture. Yeah, Fracture.
Something like
It's
yeah.
a very different thing entirely. So this is the part in Valorant where we can, I guess, experiment because we have a really good solid map pool right now. You know, we have a very good solid map pool. This new Fracture map is gonna be like, okay, are we gonna include this in active duty? Is this going to be a map that we're gonna let in the map pool, or are we just trying things out for now? So I feel like this is gonna be like, yeah, this is just good, just to see the community's reaction to the current map.
Perhaps. I think, the internal team certainly must have play tested it for sure. And a lot of positive feedback from content creators and pros as well, I think, on social media, at least for now. But we really do have to see how it actually does play because it's so weird, man. Defenders spawning right in the middle and attackers having two spawns. I mean, do they actually spawn separately, like two players spawning on one spawn point and then three on the other side?
Yeah, I'm actually not sure.
That's kind of like some of the things that I've been thinking about. And then there are ropes as well. All these different little things, and maybe a new agent as well, right? I mean, Deadeye, they posted that, and I think he was narrating the teaser. It's really it's a fun time to be in Valorant because we've got all these new and different unique things that we haven't quite seen before.
Okay, I think, and I'm gonna check with our production on this. I think we're gonna call for a little bit of a break.
I think some
I think so. Yeah.
yeah, one player's PC might have crashed. Yikes. Alright. So, I guess maybe waiting for production to confirm this. But, yeah, definitely players having quite a tough technical issue, something that can't quite be solved in the next couple minutes.
Yep.
So, break.
Yeah, I think we're gonna. This might take a minute, so I think we're gonna have to call for a break for a second. We will be back. Oh, let's just double check. We'll get back to you. We'll get back to you on this. Get back to you on this real quick.
In the meantime, still. Alright, coming back to the game, it's still going to be Ascent, that's, for sure, and they are going for the exact same agent composition. The last time they played, Hashira went for defense, and this time they're going for attack, so it could be different. Agent compositions are the same, but yeah, I don't know. Momentum definitely going on a pause for now, but we're also going to go for a quick break as the players sort out these issues. So, I don't know. Any thoughts, Elu?
Yeah, you know what? Let's take a little bit of a break. I'm sorry. It just happened. So once we come back, we're going to be going into the game itself. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back here at FSL. Welcome back, guys. Here we are, Wildfire Sphinx in their map choice up against Hashira. A little bit of a technical thing. You know, it happens. It happens because we're on the interwebs, as the boomers like to say, and these things are inevitable.
The boomers like to say interwebs.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
I don't know.
The internets.
They just hand me their phone like, help. I don't know what happened. But anyway, the game has started. A little bit of map control for either side, but Wildfire Sphinx looking to play a little bit more aggressive. They're actually just pushing into this. Kiki does find one, but immediately got traded off, and now they're stuck in this precarious position to Pips from top mid. Betcha they weren't expecting that. And right now, down to 2 remaining players. One side is definitely weak. They're going to go in regardless. Declaration, though, still being able to defend. Does take the Pips down. Connecting the second. And a headshot on towards Minji. She does know that there are 2 players behind her. She's just waiting for Luna to come in for this retake.
A little bit of a weird push out through the smoke right there from Minji. I think probably could have just stayed there. In the end, it's gonna be still a 2v2, and here right now has pretty good position. Triple kill from Declaration, a 4K, almost a 4K. It's actually Luna. Closes it out, 21 HP, and that's enough for Wildfire Sphinx. Hashira have clearly done their homework, and they know that that mid push from Wildfire was very likely. However, the mid-round adjustment that came from Hashira was just straight up awkward. It was pretty bad, if you ask me. Just they shouldn't have. Actually, Minji probably shouldn't have pushed through market like that. I don't know why. Could have just stayed alive and waited for her team to plant and just played that angle. Instead, she gets pushed through the smoke and gets taken down by Clara. So, a little bit of a questionable mid-round there, but it's a good start to it.
I have to agree. I mean, at least they took down 4 players before falling, but you know, it's still these minor mistakes, right? They had the numbers advantage, but they decided to go in for peaks. Sometimes you just become an eager beaver. But this time, Hashira once more a little bit too eager going in for this. They're going to be met with the Spectres. Still down to Minji again. It's going to be Kiki who gets the final pick off. They just knew it was a bit of a Hail Mary, and Wildfire Sphinx collects it.
Yeah, it's a good, pretty straight up round. Just to build their economy, build their bank. You know, they're gonna be investing a little bit more than they'd like, but this should still pretty much be a good bonus round for them regardless. They will be bringing out the Marshall, and that's always deadly, especially with Sarah holding it. Key's gonna be... Okay, I thought for a second she wouldn't have been able to afford it. Vandal. They will have a full buy coming towards it. Now the ball's in Hashira's court. They need this gun round. Otherwise, things are just gonna look so dire for them very early on in the game.
Yeah, maybe they're a little bit more comfortable now that they have better weapons. Still, though, it's early mid control. They have to be careful because Wildfire Sphinx, you're never quite sure what they're going to pull off. Xerath now, as soon as the smoke dissipates, has her position given away. She's exposed, and Plucky wants to take her down. Just catches her with the boombot in hand. And because of this, they're maybe playing things a little bit more slowly. Kachao getting the entry onto A definitely opens things up, though. They're going to be rushing in off of this. But she has to dial it back a little. Teammate isn't there to back her up. In fact, it's getting a little bit dicey. The spike carrier getting dropped over by mid. Kachao is stuck in towards A site. 2 remaining players over by Cat. How do they respond to this?
It's a little bit of a standoff here. They do have to recover the spike. It's currently in the possession.
Oh my god.
Of Wildfire Sphinx, and that's going to be a big kill for Kiki. He's going to be traded by Plucky, but he's going to be collapsed on him from every angle right now. Here's footsteps towards one direction, but there's just too many angles to check. That's a great pickup here for Wildfire Sphinx, as Scherzing is able to close out that round. They get to upgrade their weapons as well. Big bonus here. Big, massive bonus for Wildfire Sphinx. It looks like Christmas came a little bit early for them.
Yeah, I mean... They got a couple of players at 5,000 credits. In fact, look at their ultimates. Kiki already has hers up and ready. Declaration with the Hunter's Fury is 1 point away from getting it. It's going to be a big problem from here on out because they have all these different layers in hand. Even if they lose this round, next round, they could purchase an operator and make things a lot more difficult. Still, though, they are hell-bent on going in with the aggression. Kiki already pushing up towards A, but the forces from Hashira are going in from mid in towards the B site. Xerath, though, is able to stop this. Luna coming in to back her up now. And all that's left, all of a sudden, 2 more players. One from Market, one from B main. And it's just easy frags for Wildfire Sphinx. I mean, they're able to deal with these rushes more effectively now that it's a different map.
Yeah, they're very, like I said, man, they're just very comfortable on the scene, and it shows. And it shows as well that Hashira, not as convincing. Is timeout here for the Hashira side. Might be a little bit of a technical issue. Could be a tactical, not 100% sure. We'll get on it in just a second. But for now, we just have to bide our time and wait. As it's going to be finally, another gun round here for Hashira. It's the second chance that they have. If they don't win this and get forced into another economic reset, it might be already the half just completely sequestered to the Wildfire side.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I mean, it's already 4-0, and if they keep this up, I mean, 6-0, you're just going to keep on going at that point. If this half ends with a... Yeah, I don't see a 7-5 happening any point soon for Hashira, unless they start to come back right now, but who knows? I mean...
Yeah, unless they win this round and the next
that's
one.
Right. There could be a little bit of technical issues, or I mean, this was a tactical pause considering the in-game timer was in play, but I don't know. They might be suffering from a bit of internet issues as well. I saw that their pings were hovering around the 60 to 80 mark, which is really unfortunate. But you know, they're still not giving up. They're still trying to do whatever they can. They have what it takes. But here we come. Xerath with the operator. Not even necessary as he is there to back her up. Still, though, they are tucked away neatly into that corner, but here come the paint shells. Kachao has to make do an updraft away, but it's just going to be getting swatted down.
That took a minute.
Coming from mid, though. Okay. A bit of a brawl on both sides.
Yeah. Okay, right now they're literally just taking aim duels. Like, both of these teams, yeah, you know what? You want to go there? Let's go. You want to go? Okay, let's go, mate. Let's go.
Let's go, bro. Go.
Go.
And it's gonna be Kiki coming in with the trades, shutting Kiki down off of her ace. Still though, able to pick up the spike, has 1 minute to work with. She has so many options here.
I got the spike.
She might have options, but she's only got 45 seconds. She will be heading on over to A. The delay long enough to actually make a rotate, to buy a little bit of a fake. The fact that she's making no noise.
Oh,
It's actually great here. Oh, but she might.
30 seconds left.
Placing swarm grenade.
I think this is already the right call, just to walk on towards that site.
Shutting
She
the
made
door,
the
though.
noise.
Clara might just be able to get a wall back too, if she times this right.
10 seconds left.
Oh, she's
Oh,
kind
no,
of lost
she's-
momentum.
Yeah, she's kind of shot herself in the foot here. She should have planted it a little bit sooner.
And that's, I guess sometimes you start to overthink, perhaps. You know, there could have been a player lurking over by Hell. She went in to check it, but unfortunately that just allowed for the remaining Wildfire Sphinx players to rotate on quickly.
Yeah, just maybe a little bit of panic. I think the play there would have just been to put like close the door, put the turret on top of the Jenny, and plant the spike. And when it comes out, take that fight. Or plant the lockdown right at your feet. Either way, I think a little bit of nerves here coming up from Hashira as they look like they're very much struggling. 4-3-3-3-1. The kills right here is it's Kiki. It's the Kiki show right now, as she looks like she's very much dominant this entire game.
Still though, the aim duels. I don't know if that's how Hashira want to play this, but now they're just kind of dialing things back for a second, maybe. Wildfire Sphinx doing the same thing, not playing too aggressively just yet. Certainly seems like an A hit is building up, but a lot of smokes all across the board, and it's thanks to Scherzinger. Still though, Kachao is able to find Kiki. Headshot coming through, refreshes the knives, and they're just expecting, anticipating a second player to peek. Zareth just might be the one to do it.
Sarah's toying, teasing the edge of that wall right there, just in case anybody tries to get through. They go on ahead. Ultimate for ultimate, it's Sarah who comes out on top. What is a blade to a rocket to a missile? Not very much right now, as the lockdown will be deployed, but Scherzinger with a quick play. They don't allow Hashira any time to breathe at all. Plucky gets 1 kill, but that's from the flank. And with 22 seconds left, she's got 3 kills to find. Just not gonna happen. Scherzinger with a massive triple kill, yet again, being the bastion for Wildfire Sphinx once more.
I think it was really unfortunate. There's a chance that maybe, I don't know, economy might not have been on Hashira's side. I was kind of waiting for perhaps if Plucky had the stars, if she was able to pull off a couple of nebulas, block off Heaven, block off Garden, it would have allowed Hashira to walk in, but it just wasn't quite there, and they were just gonna rely on the aim tools, and it wasn't meant to be. Scherzinger coming in from Garden as well just stopped everything in its tracks. So 6-0, man, this is not looking good.
Yeah, they're going for even more aggression right now. The turret stopped Seraph for a second right here, but how long for? Because it looks like he's gonna go and re-aggress. Smoke just to deny the turret. But they still have to deal with Kiki, who's already flanked. She's found her way onto the top mid. Misses a couple of shots here. Actually, it's going to be Sarah to take that kill. Now, Chow is able to trade it back, and look at this. Hashira found a beeline, have found an entrance onto the site.
Still, though, they have to deal with Declaration. Who's able to dink up a couple more, but it comes back into the 2v2. Scherzinger just trying to make the quick play happen. Paranoia already in. She's going in from lane. But unfortunately, it's just a little bit short. Her teammate falls, and she will be the next. Hashira getting a nice little moment of respite. It's 1-6, the first round that they've won in this first half. I like trains, but I don't know if Hashira like this. They certainly want to build those tracks, though. They want to find a way onto the site, but it's getting met with so much util. Okay, I was gonna say util, but a couple of taps through the smoke will be able to do them. A couple of kills as well. Still though, mid control, and they want to make the B split happen. Clara's just trying to set them off, but it's not going to be enough. Zareth falls to a trade. And Japibs, oh no! A little bit overextending. She's going to get shut down by Luna. But, well, take a look at your mini-map. Spike getting delivered over to A.
Planted. One enemy remaining.
Minji. Very unlucky. It's down to 7-1 already in Wildfire Sphinx. I mean, Hashira had a good read. They had a nice opportunity, but unfortunately, once it comes down to it, they might have gotten the spike down. They tried to go in for the post-plant setups. I mean, Minji had the Hunter's Fury as well, but they just weren't able to hold down the site. Wildfire Sphinx were a little bit sharper this time. Again, might have been due to ping differences, but you got to do what you can.
There.
And they do. Difficult ball right now, especially when you're being out. Gone at the meantime. Kachow's looking for another entry. She finally lands a decisive blow. That's 2 entries for Kachow, and it looks like she's had enough. Pulls out the blades for the Blade Storm, looking for the long range, and she gets it. That's gonna be a triple kill right now onto Kachow. And this is Kachow when she is just unleashed, and when she is just unbridled. Just aggression coming out from her, hitting every single shot. That's 3 kills she's managed to find. Might get the drop onto her 4th here. This wall, after the smoke expires, it's gonna be Kachow to find the 4th, looking for the ace. Could be the ace. Kachow knows where Kiki is.
Give it.
The battle of the duelists here. Oh, she misses! Oh, Kiki, wait a minute. 3v2. 3v2, she gets spotted out. No time. No time, she's gotta go.
Looking to see if she's going to go for the kills, though, and she certainly is going to try, but unfortunately will just get summoned 1G'd away by the Nano Swarm.
Last player
7-2,
standing.
valiant effort, but it's just not quite
Need the
enough.
drop.
Well, it is a 7-2.
Yeah, and they've got Kiki on 15 frags, so it's just Kiki performing lights out, you know, in the meantime. Pardon us, ladies and gentlemen, apparently we are having technical issues, us on the caster's end, so it's a little bit weird. Forgive us for the meantime, but they look like they're gonna go ahead. Full steam ahead here as, yet again, Kachow leading the charge. It's gonna be the entry here towards that ace site. They claim it. They're gonna get a spike down. Seraph creeping through the smoke. Sees Minji fully blind, unable to land the shot. It's Minji who finds that decisive tap onto Seraph, and now it starts as 4v5 Legion scenario. They leave one player lurking towards that mid side, but they have managed to smoke them off from the shadows just to clear out that back angle. Sees nobody towards that A main area, and that's going to give them a little bit of maybe a false sense of security as that lockdown does come in. Declaration finds Kachow with a shock dart, and that's going to be big here for now. The lockdown is destroyed, and on top of it is Key and Japeep, who do manage to find some kills. Now, Luna will get one before she goes down, and it's all into Cherzinga's hands. Doesn't have enough time. That's going to be the round right here, and it's 1v1. The patience does pay off. There's Plucky with that late lurk all the way through mid. He's going to secure Hashira their 3rd round.
Just by the edge of the spike. Plucky stays alive. 7-3 though. I might just have to eat my words because Hashira is definitely staging this comeback. It's 2 rounds in a row already, and off of this, I mean, economy is a little bit rough, but it's still not the worst thing in the world. In fact, the fact that they have 3 ultimates, 2 of which are some of the best ones in the game, Cosmic Divide, Lockdown as well, it could allow them to come in with an execute, and I think they're certainly looking to make this happen on towards the B site.
Standing ahead.
They are, and the rushes, just the straight up hits, have just been working out. Look at how confident they are just taking the aim duels. Yet again, but Kiki took down Minji. That's the intel gathering gone from the picture. But they're going to be pinching here from B, from both directions. Declaration, she just cannot find a single kill for now. It's Kachow yet again to find another opening. And Kachow has just been unleashed.
Wow.
Kachow! She's just running around and killing everyone.
Non-stop.
I am speed, she says, as she just dismantles the defense of Wildfire Sphinx almost single-handedly.
She's speed. She's Lightning Queen, and she's gonna find
man.
a 3rd frag in the round. All that's left is Kiki. And
You know-
unfortunately, Kiki's gonna steal it away.
I imagine, Quack, that every time Kachow gets a kill,
Last round
she
in
kind
the
of maybe finger guns and just
Kachow.
goes like, Kachow, every
I
time.
hope so. I don't
Every
know.
kill.
Admins can see that, but
I hope she does. I hope she does. In my head, she does. That's what's true to me.
it's canon. It's
That's
something
canon.
that she has to do for sure. I mean,
Every
not for
time
us,
she
for the
clutches,
fans.
Kachow. Every time she defuses, Kachow.
Anytime she kills.
Yeah.
Still though, it's the last round of the first half, and right now they're certainly in position to make an A rush happen. The lockdown is coming into play, and Kachao's doing her thing, dashing onto site, prevents any further peeks from Heaven, and she's just looking to clear on site. The spot that there isn't no one in position, so this is going to be down to the full 5v5 retake declaration, stopping the spike getting planted though, and shutting Kachao down. It's going to be Kiki. We're tunneling into this 4v3. They still want to get the spike planted, but it's not safe any longer. Xerath wants revenge. Blood for blood. She's going to stop the second one. And now looking on towards the Plucky. Does have a Cosmic Divide, but I don't think she can pull this off. Going in for this though. Does get the flick. And now the pull on towards the spike. Clara is stunned. Can't even back off because her movement speed is slowed. It's just an intense stare off, but she actually gets the... Tries to swing, but Clara will be able to shut her down. So 8-4 score at the end of the first half.
She's just losing her nerve at the very last second, and declaration showing that she's got nerves of steel for now, holding the angle, not going for that tap until she really needed to. Getting Plucky a little bit off guard, but it was a good attempt in the end.
Valiant effort, but yeah, it's an 8-4. Not the worst thing in the world. We do see signs of life in Hashira, but you know, the main thing is for both teams right now, this kind of unbridled aggression, like you aptly put earlier on, just rushing onto site has been working out pretty nicely. In fact, right now with what we see on the mini map from Hashira, you know, Plucky the only one around the A site. She's in by Garden. Is this the best possible play?
It'll have to work because they're gonna go for a B push. So the fact that they don't see anyone towards B, that was a gamble here. It was a gamble here by Hashira, and instead it's actually gonna be an A hit instead. So it's a little bit of the wrong read. Let's tell it's a 5v5 retake. Minji, and wait for the right time to throw out that double shock dart. It's coming in. And it lands squarely at the feet of Shirzing and brings her down to 75, not able to do any more than that, just a little off timing. But Luna's able to find off Kachao. That's a big pickoff. Declaration follows it up. And this is going to be a massive stomp here as Minji tries to get around the corner. Able to survive for the meantime. Recon is available. Japeep's working this angle, working this corner. She's trapped in it. And she's trying to get as many taps in as she can, but it is going to be just a couple of kills yet again. But do they have the time? They need to start the defuse as soon as humanly possible. Declaration up against Japeep's, and oh my god! Fully flashed Declaration with a triple to bring Wildfire Sphinx further and further ahead against Hashira.
This is what Wildfire Sphinx is made of. She saw the Leer coming out and she just pressed W, move forward so that it's out of her field of view, and because of that, she's not as blind any longer. Will be able to, I mean, crosshair placement as well. She just gets the headshot. Perfect place, but you gotta credit Hashira because that might have been a gamble, but they had an interesting setup. I mean, Minji, if the shock darts were a little bit earlier, might have actually taken Scherzinger down. In fact, they were very close to making the retake happen. Two remaining players coming from Garden, as well as Heaven, but still they lost their round, and now they're gonna have to play this off the back of an eco. It's you don't want to give Wildfire Sphinx any more of a lead, but they're just gonna go in for this. They see the opening and they want to capitalize on it. Spectres in hand, they cut them off on the rotate. It's Kiki making all of these kills happen, while the rest of the team push past Market in towards the B site. Lucky though, does have position.
Oh, he makes noise. Kachao's backed up by Japeep's. That 1-2 punch, so deadly, so fearsome here. And Kiki and Xerath, they bring things back. They make things a little bit more, you know, they get things back to normalcy here. As once again, we find ourselves 10-4. Wildfire Sphinx have found themselves winning, I think, 4 rounds already in a row they have found. And this is putting a very big hamper under the plans of Hashira. Hashira haven't really been making the right reads come towards the mid game, and it's very, I'd say, characteristic of them. When they start strong, they start very strong. But Wildfire Sphinx have shown to be the direct opposite. Wildfire Sphinx, they're really good at playing that mid game, that late game. So it's a very interesting difference of playstyles that we're actually seeing here.
Like mid, you're not talking about, you know, just mid on the map, but mid in terms
No,
of
like
timing. And right
mid-round.
now, yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what we're seeing at the same time, but
Ooh.
Wildfire Sphinx starting to come up. I mean, once they get the information, this is how they read the game. And Hashira, not quite sure how to react to this. They are trying to position themselves into these observational posts around mid, but it's only a little bit because there isn't a single player on the A side to defend. In fact, Minji actually tried to make a couple plays happen from Garden. Declaration, though, will be able to pick up the double. Now they're just going in for this. They did not get the spike down.
Yeah, but that's still very, very good right here from Wildfire. They get 3 kills on their bonus round. They force so many rebuys. You know, one player is going to have virtually nothing. Yeah. Yeah, Kachao, what you going to play on? Judge, do it. I want to see the judge again. I really do.
I wouldn't hate on it. I would not hate on it, but you know, she is playing on defense after all. No sage walls, no, I don't know, maybe just off angles. Actually, a judge right here would be pretty good, but still has Spectre, just waiting for it. Very, very eager. She's gonna go in for the first peek, gets the first kill, still has the option to dash out. She's going for the fake dash. Oh my god, Wildfire is watching this in case there is something to play, but Plucky goes in with the pull. It's not going to be enough though. Still going to be a big duel over here. Huge firefight, and Hashira come out on top. Shazinga, the last one left alive, coming in from mid. Unfortunately, has to go in for this push because the spike has been dropped.
Dude, there's no way you win that, but like, okay, they go into the blender, and somehow Wildfire Sphinx still managed to, like, even though she was in the whirly in the whirlpool, still managed to get a kill. That's not easy. That is not easy. And it's also not easy to hit somebody who is spinning in that whirlpool, like when you're spraying. It's just so difficult.
It throws you off for sure, but I don't know. Wildfire Sphinx is not the first time that they've actually come up with kills despite getting pulled into the whirlpool. I mean, last time they played, you know, last week, they actually did the same thing, but on the same map as well, but, well, they're just going to make this happen again. It's 10-6 already. Hashira still have a chance, but they need to be able to defend and lock down the sites. Shock Dart into play, and it's a very gnarly one.
Oh, what a Shock Dart.
Whoa, so glad the Observer followed that time. 3v5 now, and even though they have control over the site, I don't know if they'll be able to hold this post plan.
Yeah, that Shock Dart just hits onto 3 and actually takes down 1. Jeez, that's perfectly lined up. But so will this shot right here from Minji and Japeeps, and Minji will find a third. 10-6? I think it's 7 now, isn't it? Yeah, it's 10-7.
That's, I mean, shoutouts to our Observer, but yeah, 10-7. Kachao, I think she's getting closer to her Blade Storm as well. It's perfect reads from Hashira. I mean, I'm not sure if it's, you know, Minji just taking a gamble, going for the random Shock Dart. Yeah, Kachao does have her Blade Storm. I mean, oh, she does get information from her teammates, so this is actually a very well-timed double Shock Dart. Catches them just right underneath their feet.
Yeah, perfectly played right there from Minji.
Placing swarm grenade.
And right here, going to be the stand of Wildfire Sphinx towards this B site. They're going for a B hit. They want to go fast. But can they match the speed of Kachao? Who is speed? See? Kachao's going fast. She wants to go. She wants to go fast. Oh,
my name is Kachao, and I am the fastest player alive. The Speed Force is within her, but Wildfire Sphinx trying to go fast as well. They make the quick rotations back towards mid. Plucky senses danger, immediately backs out. Still though, Kachao holding over by B. The rest of the squad from Wildfire Sphinx just going deep into mid. Not sure what they're trying to pull off, but there are 2 players trying to resist this.
Yeah, Key is in this corner. She's in a lot more trouble than she actually thinks. The Paranoia comes in, does blind her up. But Japeeps is there for the backup, and the swing out declaration wins anyway. Japeeps is good for the trade. That's the ultimate here for Wildfire Sphinx. Lockdown, but that's gonna be the Hunter's Fury, and Japeeps finds 3 kills, just jumping up and around, dodging masterfully. Hunter's Fury. Now it's all to Luna. And she's all alone. She lands a nice shot onto the dome of Japeeps right there. But 30 HP and vulnerable, a bullet away, a hair. But she manages to stay alive, to survive for now. They might let her plant here. Oh no, they don't have the spike. She doesn't have the spike. Spike is dropped towards mid.
Yeah, I don't see.
Yeah, there's no way.
10 seconds left.
I mean, no, there's no chance. There's 0 chance. But what she can do is try to make it at least more expensive.
Nah, she's just saving, playing it safe. I mean, the Hashira are closing this gap. I mean, for sure. Wildfire Sphinx right now can't afford to let another round slip. In fact, I'm not sure how their economies look. Yeah, not the best this round. I mean, they might be able to go in, but you know, it's at this point it's light shields unless you forsake your utility. And I don't know if that's what they want to do. They certainly feel a little bit more healthier in terms of ultimate economy, but is that what they need though? Kachao is the operator.
So she's been playing fast the whole game. Now she might actually slow things down. We'll go look somewhere else. We get a little information towards short, seeing nobody will position herself towards long. The shock darts.
Oh my god.
This time coming into. Oh, this is gonna be. Oh, so close. I thought it was gonna be it. I thought it was gonna be it. It was not. But that's the shot from Kachao. Dashing on out. Gonna net them a 1-man advantage for now. So what can they do off the back of this play? Great kill right there from Japeeps, not Kachao and Japeeps. Kacheeps.
Kachao.
Kachao. Both of them getting a couple of good kills. The Kapeeps.
Crucial kills. I mean, it really pushed and scared Wildfire Sphinx away. And right now, if she's actually able to catch them on the cross, that would be even worse. Oh my god, did you see that play? So fast! Still quick on the draw. And Declaration.
And she hits Declaration.
Up, down to red HP.
Ooh. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, Luna has to destroy this one. And Key just finds... He wasn't even aiming at Declaration. I think he was aiming at like Luna, and then just I want to see. I think that was really rather just unfortunate.
Random wall bang.
Like random wall bang right behind her, and she goes down. That's how low she was.
She was that low. I mean, when you get lagged by an operator, that's what happens. Still though, I mean, this is where Wildfire Sphinx's economy is broken. Xerath with the Marshall buys. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe she prefers that over the Sheriff, but the way that Hashira has been playing early game, I mean, just a little bit safe, not overexposing themselves, but still into these positions where they can actually go for the aim duels, actually win against them because they're holding the angles with superior weaponry. Wildfire Sphinx have to change their pace, I think.
Yeah, it seems like they're losing almost every single duel right now. And on this map, this is Wildfire's map pick. They're on double digits, sure, but Hashira, look, this was a 10-4, I think? Yeah, it was a 10-4.
Yes.
It's already 5 rounds in a row that Hashira have won. And so this comeback is already happened. Can they close it out? That is the question here as we get closer and closer to the time expiring. Only 1 minute left in the round, and they're gonna head on over towards B. Problem is, for Wildfire Sphinx, there's 3 players around this area that could be the problem for them as they try to push on in. That's gonna be the flash, that's gonna be the turret deployed. And they know where Key is. He's in a little bit of trouble. They watch over her angle, but there are so many players watching this cross, keeping Key safe here.
30 seconds left.
And she is still safe, even though Kiki tried to creep up. It's still not enough. So many players from Market, no matter what they try to do, they just can't quite get it. Spike being dropped over by main as well. Scherzinga with the flicks though, only able to net 1. And just like that, Hashira have been able to bring this back neck and neck now. Look at that. That's 6 rounds in a row that they won.
They have won 6, and what a game. 10-10. We are getting treated to, you know, a really, really good series here. This is a massive... First of all, I'm going to point this out, correct? This is already a massive improvement from the Hashira that we saw last time.
Oh, yes.
The Hashira that we saw last time on Ascent looked lost. They looked confused, but now they're feeling and looking a lot more confident up against Wildfire Sphinx, especially, I think, after that first win on that first game that we had today.
Yeah, great reads. The only thing is, Wildfire Sphinx, I think, a little bit off performance, off peak.
Yeah.
The last time, Xerath actually went really aggressive into his B side. They haven't done that so far, but this might be the round where they're looking to make that happen. We see a Boombot coming in, the flashbacks come out, Showstopper into play, but nobody's home. Hashira have backed off completely. I think they're reading this as well. So it's going to go into a full-on 5v5 retake, and I think Hashira might be able to take this. Still, though, as soon as I say that, Kiki will be watching the market, taking the first frag, now onto the second. Xerath watching the angle onto its spawn as well, and 2 players are all that remain.
They might just go for exit here. That would be a very reasonable thing to do. Obviously, Kachao, great as she is with the operator, you do not want to be pushing onto B side with it on in a 2v5 retake. So they're probably just going to go for those exit kills. Probably just going to try to make things a little bit more expensive. But nobody's checking B main. No one's pushing towards B main.
Yeah, they're going for the safe route, but yeah, not even going through mid. They don't want to risk it at all. They heard the operator.
But look how far they're chasing for these kills, man. Look at Astra. Look at the Astra right there. She's chasing up Plucky. Plucky really wants a gun. Like she ran through B market all the way to spawn just to look for a kill. She pays the price.
That's sad right there, but still, look at her bank. She's got full.
Yeah, she's
9,000.
rich.
Yeah, it's good to go. The only thing is now, I think Wildfire Sphinx might just have figured out that the rushers can work, and Hashira need to stop this. The fact that they have Plucky, the fact that they have Minji, well, I mean, right now it's a bit of a gamble again. I'm not quite sure why they're doing this. 4-woman stack on towards B, Plucky the only one in guard. This is the same thing that we saw in the pistol round.
Yeah, and Kiki, she's been an enormous force here for Wildfire Sphinx. But I was gonna say, can't she get an entry? But there's no one on the site. So that was a little bit anticlimactic. Okay, but now this 5v5 retake yet again. Hashira has been taking gambles onto this side, and Minji gets the spot onto one close. Oh, it still loses the duel though. We'll be able to heal. Kachao, close range, will take another loss right here, and this could be the round for Wildfire Sphinx. They could go. They don't even spot Kiki. Kiki yet again, but no, Ki's the one who does it. Gets a kill with a Nano Swarm, follows it up with another with a Phantom, and it's all up to Scherzinger. She's been fatal, she's been lethal, but can she be deadly? It looks like a yes. Scherzinger has brought us to map point. She's taken Wildfire Sphinx to 12-10.
Match point.
1v2 clutch from this gal. Oh my god, I was shaking. Her teammates unfortunately fall, but she was there to back them up all the way from hell. Just watching this perfect angle, perfect flicks as well. Able to nail down the last 2 remaining players from Hashira. I mean, just take a look at this.
How is she getting so good so fast? It's just uncanny. It's just amazing how a player can, you know, Scherzinger, like we said before, time and time again, she is a recent convert to the FPS scene. But she's putting up clutches like this. It's not an easy thing to do. This is map awareness. This is intelligence that develops over thousands of hours of game time. And she's already pulling this out.
Whoa. Luna is another one of those players as well, another one who's a recent convert, and it just shows, man, hard work and dedication. They might not have, you know, the best strats all the time, but when it comes down to it, they can be that sharp. They can perform under pressure, and now they're just looking to make the B execute happen. Lockdown from Luna now off that 1 kill. They're going in for this. Kiki still going for the lurk. Might just be able to kind of players on rotate. There's the first one. Now onto the second. Oh, falls to Japips. Back into a 2v4, and Hashira might be able to make some damage happen.
We are looking at match point. This is for game 3. Wildfire Sphinx, if they want to go to Breeze, they win this. They gotta win this round. but it's Plucky and Japeeps. Stand
Player
in
standing.
their way. Plucky and no, not even
Attackers
close.
win.
Not even gonna get across. This is a convincing turnaround. Just when you start to worry about Wildfire Sphinx, they've managed to pull it back and say, no, this is our map for a good reason.
Just like that, man. It was 13-11 on first map, 13-10 on the second. What's Breeze gonna look like?
Overtime, 4 overtimes, 5. You know, the longest in my entire career as a shoutcaster, the longest game I've ever casted was 8 overtimes. And this was in FSL Open, I think, 2. So we are no strangers to these long overtimes. Not at all. However, we will be taking a little bit of a break. I think the teams are being told to take a break, so I think we have to go as well. And yeah, we do have to take a short breath. When we do come back, it's going to be game number 3 here. We're going to be finding ourselves on Breeze. Again, you're joining me, El Estrado. This is Quack with your casters. We'll be back in a second. Don't go anywhere.
God. Show me what you got. Back down, up, back down, back up. 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 Show me what you got. Show me what you got. Down, up, back, back, up, God, down, up, back, back, God, down, up, back, back, up, God, down, up, back, back, God, down, up, back, back, up, God, down, up, back, back, God, down, up, back, back, up, God. Ain't no reason to back down, so step it up. God, down, up, back, back, up, God, down, up, back, back, God, down, up, back, back, up, God, down, up, back, back, God, down, up, back, back, up, God, down. the money in the bank. Hit you with the bank. Hit you with the Hit you with the 808. Hit you with the Hit you with the 808. Bang to the break, bang to the break, bang to the break, bang, 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 bang. I'm a boss, and you know that I'm finna shine. Got the money in the bank. Got the money in the bank. Got the money in the bank, 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 bank. Got the money in the bank.
We'd like to thank Intel for believing in us and supporting women in the gaming community. The new core and graphics architectures of the 11th gen Intel Core processors elevate laptop and desktop gaming performance for all types of gamers, from the overclockable K processor line for desktops to the U processor line with integrated graphics. Intel has a product for the hardcore PC gamer and streamer, as well as the gamer on the go.
Welcome back, ladies and gents, and you're joining us here on the Valorant Game Changers. It's the FSL overtime, and we've managed to find ourselves in a lot of overtimes here across the FSL stage, and I don't think this is going to be any exception. We're finding ourselves on game number 3, Quack! Game number 3. I mean, we thought it would come to game number 3, but I don't think either of us expected both of those games to go down to the wire like that.
Super close, right? I mean, first map 13-11, second map Ascent goes 13-10. The way it started out in the first half, you kind of expect Wildfire Sphinx to just continue going with that momentum. They had the 8-4 at the end of the first half, but somehow Hashira, man, they're completely different from the last time that we saw them. I mean, they've certainly done their homework. A lot of setups being made, even kind of relinquishing control and just letting Wildfire Sphinx walk into A side at times, but then they had a couple of interesting shock dodge from Minji, interesting setups from Plucky as well sometimes with the stars. But you know what, that's Ascent. We're moving on to the third map. It's gonna be Breeze, and the last time that these two teams played, Wildfire Sphinx were the ones that lost. It was 8-13.
Yeah, Breeze is very much a map that I think Hashira is very convincing on, one of the better maps. But if we look at the history of both of these teams are, the kind of teams that are kind of nerds. They kind of like to do the research on one another, and they will go and straight up, this is what they like to run on round 1. This is how they do their pistol, and we saw evidences of that in the previous couple of games here. I expect more of the same. And if there's any team that likes to learn, that can learn and adjust on the fly, Wildfire Sphinx are very capable of sticking it to Hashira. Wildfire Sphinx are very capable of learning how Hashira plays, as evidenced by the previous game, and just adapting it in the middle of the game. Now, Hashira, however, they like to keep things fresh. they come up with some new strats here and there, and I'm wondering if they'll pull out anything new up against Wildfire in this next game.
I mean, I guess we'll have to watch, right? Because, they certainly show that they are capable of doing such things. I don't know if fresh is the word I want to use, because sometimes they just, I am speed. You just let Kachow go in and she's going to be able to pull off all these crazy frags with... It's ridiculous what she did on map number 1.
Like, I'm pretty sure the call was, this is how the comms went. Kachow, go kill.
Go kill.
Go kill. Just go kill. That's what they did, and it worked for the most part. But we'll see if that actually changes up here. We're going to Breeze. Any expectations? Any predictions? This is a much bigger map. This is a map that Hashira are very confident on. They're very happy to play on it, and they use their experience to, I'd say, their advantage in this one, because they are experienced FPS gamers.
Yeah, they certainly are. I'm really not quite sure what to expect, but I guess the one thing that I can pull out, from our stat sheet, some team interviews from our producers and whatnot, we have information that, Hashira, there is a reason why they pick Breeze. They like it because it focuses on aim duels. They like the post plants. They like the retakes. Because it's so big, there's so much that you can do with it, especially with rotations as well. You're not quite sure what to expect. I mean, it just might come down to the duels at the end of the day. But the last time they did play, they went for a bit of a role swap, which is kind of curious, a little bit interesting to me. The way they played Ascent, the way they played Split, pretty much everyone's sticking to the same roles. You had Plucky on the Astra, you had, Kachow and Duelist. But the last time they played Breeze, Japips was on Reyna, and she had a 30 bomb, by the way. Plucky swapped over from Astra over onto Jet. Kachow going from Duelist, now playing Sentinel on Cypher. It's a
mixed bag.
Man. Yeah, different.
It's a little bit of it's like a box of chocolates in this one. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah,
I expect it's gonna be much more of the same when we get Fracture out, and then people are just gonna be like, yeah, you know what? We're just gonna. Yoru might be actually good here. Like, that's what I'm look, man. That's what I'm thinking, because he can go and teleport from one side of the map to the other, and that's gonna be massive. So
you never know. You never know. But on the other side of that coin, Wildfire Sphinx, although they did lose 8-13, I kind of like what they had the last time they played. I mean, it was Scherzinger not playing controller anymore. She was a Sage, but she was doing interesting things with her wall. Sometimes over on the A site, she just kind of places it horizontally, but she leaves a tiny gap to allow herself to peek past it. It kind of caught Hashira off guard at times. The first few times it worked, but they soon after caught on to it, and you just can't pull off the same tricks anymore. The rest of the team, though, Clara was the one playing controllers, Viper, of course, but other than that, they just had one initiator, 2 duelists. It's Zareth. Instead of Raze, she's going with Jet. Kiki still on Reyna, of course, but Luna on the Sky instead. It's interesting. Hashira goes for Sova instead of Sky, so there's that slight difference, but I'm not sure how it plays out.
I think the Sova is a good pick, but I wouldn't be surprised that on maps like Breeze, Hashira would pick out double initiators. It's very common in the meta that we see all across, I'd say, Southeast Asia and even the world, that you run double initiators because of just the sheer breadth of the map. It's just such a massive map that you need as much utility as you can just to clear out certain angles. Sure, while the Sky might be sufficient towards flashing the backside and clearing out a couple of corners, the Sova just provides just that much more post-plant. The Sova just provides you that much more, recon and intel coming into those long angles in the middle of the game. But let's find out if they go ahead and do decide to go for that double initiator, or will they stick to what is tried, true, and tested here. We're going to Agent Select, ladies and gentlemen. It's the third game of the series, and we're finding ourselves once more on Breeze.
See, you have me sold on double initiator, but then again, it comes down to what these players prefer. Sometimes an initiator like Sky can replace a duelist in some aspects, but it comes down to whether you prefer that slightly more intel gathering-y type of utility, or if you just prefer mobility plus space creating, flashes and whatnot. But it does seem like they're just going for something similar. The only difference is Kachao is sticking to her duelist role, which I do love. So who knows, man? I think Wildfire Sphinx are going to have to kind of react to this. They have to play a little bit more different as opposed to what they did the last time. But looking at their agent select, might just be the same composition, but different strats, perhaps?
Yeah,
Select your
perhaps.
agent.
I mean, you're onto something there. I do agree, but I think the meta is fairly straightforward. There are a couple of things that you do need. One of those things is the Viper. Minji will be playing the controller this time, so that's going to be her playing that controller role, and Minji normally does play that Sova.
Mm.
She's probably that means one thing, that she knows the lineups. She's a little bit of a
Snake
she's
bites,
a
man.
little bit of a lineup nerd, and those work. We saw them earlier in Ascent.
Oh, yeah.
So why not?
They were on point, you have to say. So they can actually do the same thing. The fact that they are starting out on attack, this was their map pick, so that means that Wildfire Sphinx gets to pick the side. They will be starting out on defense. Hashira, if they can actually get the spike down, I mean, primary objective, you want to break open onto site, create some space, gain some control, get the spike down, and then they back off. If they can set up for those post-plant positions, Minji, they just might be able to come up with some interesting lineups that pretty much lock it out for their team. Still, that's the primary objective. They need control first things first. So let's see if they can actually do that. Certainly right now, maybe a mid push.
Yeah, it's looking like it's in the books here for Hashira. This is not something that's very common, and to go for those mid plays very early on, but a little bit of a technical again. Again, you can't spell technical without SEA. Technical pause. So, hang in there.
SCA things, but for now, I mean,
It's like a blessing and a curse, though, isn't it, Quack? Like, one, we're surrounded by the most beautiful beaches in the world.
oh yeah.
And we have like amazing oceans and wildlife, but also Valorant's a little bit harder to play with one another because of the wide tracts of ocean that separates all of our beautiful nations.
Yeah, it's a give and take at times, but you know what? You make do. I mean, they're still able to play at the end of the day, and that's the
Look.
best thing.
My dream here, Quack. My dream. This is I'm gonna say this straight up for esports. My dream is that we will have a LAN event on the beach someday.
What?
And that we can cast like a Valorant tournament in like Boracay or something like that, or I don't know, Kota Kinabalu or something, just one of the islands in Southeast Asia, and then have a massive after party. That's the dream.
Dude, I think the after party
How
sounds
cool
a
would
little
that
more
be?
enticing. I don't know how we can cast. I certainly would love, be able to get some, I don't know, Hawaiian
Some
t-shirts,
sun?
maybe. Some sun. I don't know. What do you
What's the
think?
sun? I don't even remember what that is anymore.
Yeah, it's not outdoors. I mean, gamers, come on, we go to sleep at like what 6, 7, 8.
I slept at 8 today.
Brilliant. Nice.
Yeah.
You get to wear that like a badge of honor.
I do. It means I'm a true hardcore gamer.
True hardcore gamer. What about people in the chat? What time do they sleep at? I don't know.
They're probably casuals that sleep at like 9 p.m.
If you want to prove Illustrata wrong, if you are not a casual gamer, if you're not a filthy
Stay up
casual,
late.
tell us right now, what time do you sleep at? It better be something in the
Better be,
no,
like,
that's
ridiculous.
Not the healthiest
No,
thing.
no, we're
If you
not.
got work,
We
if you
shouldn't
got
do that.
school, yeah.
We do promote healthy sleeping habits. We just don't exactly practice what we
What
preach.
is a
But we have a
healthy sleeping
technical
habit?
issue, which is why we're talking about things.
Talking about things.
Where would you have your dream LAN event, Quack? Where would you have your dream LAN event?
That's a good. I don't know. I actually have not casted at a LAN before.
Look, we had Iceland. There was Berlin. There were, obviously there's so many great locations, but
It's always stadiums.
if you were to pick one
halls.
place where you could go to like have a really big LAN event, where would you do it?
You know, I think something like one of those sports stadiums might be cool.
Oh yeah,
Really
yeah, that would
big.
be cool.
It's kind of outdoorsy, but you got a huge screen. Maybe some setups for like
Like
Hashira.
Madison Square Garden level, like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like in New York. Yeah.
Something
That'd be
at
cool.
that level. That would be huge, but who knows? Technical issues as well. I mean, we're sitting in the middle of a technical pause. I think one of the players might have maybe a game crash or some internet issues. But aside from you mentioned Berlin, I don't know what's going on, but it's trending right now. Please, I don't know if it helps her or anything at all, but it's just nice to see some support because, yeah, the rumor or at least something floating around the Twitter sphere is that Bren visa issues. Maybe you want to shed some light on this, but hashtag bring Bren to Berlin, please.
Okay. So we actually don't know anything about what's
statement,
going
yeah.
on a lot. There's not a lot of an official statement. So since we are actually live and on, I'm going to refrain from saying anything that might incriminate us.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the safe thing to say would be to say that we don't exactly know what's happened, and that I think people should just avoid spreading information that is not like accurate or correct, because there's a whole thing that's happening right now, and it's best to sort of just avoid saying anything that you're not 100% sure of, and that's kind of where I stand too.
Yeah, I don't want to spread misinformation. We don't know exactly what is happening. Brent hasn't really released anything, but the main thing certainly is, and it's very nice to see support from everywhere. I mean, it's not just casters, esports players, pretty much almost everyone. Even Mixwell from G2 tweeted out, "Bring Brent to Berlin."
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much we can do about it right now. It's just the state of the world, and while it's unfortunate and it's sad news, and obviously as a Filipino myself, it breaks my heart, but I don't exactly know, so I'm I'm gonna play it a little bit safe on this one. So if I could go to Berlin though, I mean,
It certainly seems it's one of those things that it's a dream for any person involved in esports.
any person just to go to Berlin.
Any person, yeah.
I mean, Germany is actually just such a great place for esports in general. I mean, they just have such a great infrastructure for it. Like, it's supported by the government. It's a great place to hang out. You can drink age-appropriate drinks on public transportation while watching events.
While watching events, that's the dream.
Yeah.
Support for
Oh my
esports.
god, how cool would that be? Oh, this is making me sad. But yeah, we're gonna take a little bit of a break. This is taking a while. We're gonna go in a short one, guys. So hang on to your hats.
Weird
When we
things are
return,
happening.
we're gonna start with the actual game. So do not leave. Maybe grab a cold one. Come back and join us. We'll be back. Welcome back. We are here in Breeze and ready to get started with the game. Apologies again for the technical issue, but we have sorted it out. Now you're joining us, Illustrato, and none other than Quack himself. It's gonna be a straight up mid rush. We were talking about this before the game. And Ka-chow again doing the Ka-chow thing. 1 HP. Oh, she's gonna be tagged up right through there. She gets caught off, but that's gonna be still a good entry, and they secure that B side. This is what you were talking about here earlier, Quack. Just them going for those straight up peaks, the straight up duels, catching Wildfire Sphinx off guard. It does wonders for them.
Absolute wonders. 3v4 though, and Wildfire Sphinx certainly stand some kind of a chance at taking this back, but the post-plant positions are already in play, and this is something that I don't like for Wildfire Sphinx. They're going to have a tough time doing all these separate angles. I mean, look at this positional setup. You got one Japeeps over by this corner, two from the other side, opposite sides of the site, behind the back. So they might be able to take the one down, but they have to deal with the remaining players, and all that's left, Sherzinga trying to connect the shots will not be able to do it. 3 remaining players secure the win, the pistol win, and Hashira just, they're looking solid right now.
Yeah, I like that they just straight up go in and just, you know, take the fight, because it really works out for them. And a lot of the times, some of their most successful rounds actually stem from just bursting out onto a site, netting them kills, and being, you know, catching the defense, breaking it, breaking crossfires, breaking setups, utility. And if it works, don't fix it. They've done this in the previous game. They're going to keep doing it yet again here. A little bit of an aggressive play here towards Halls, though, as it looks like there might be an immediate flank, and that's a big flank, a very, very big flank. That's a 4-man flank coming in here potentially. No, just a 3-man flank this time. Sarah gonna catch one off. Plucky sees that there is more behind her, and so she's gonna hold the line right now, placing down a trap. Japeeps gets another. Sherzinga going down here, and Plucky with the read yet again, finding Kiki, and this leaves Luna to work this angle. She might actually get a pick off here. They don't know she's here, I think, and she'll actually be able to sneak up onto site, but Key's gonna get taken down, but immediately traded off right there by Japeeps. 3 still alive here, and this is a little bit of an expensive eco round for Hashira, anti-eco round, but they're gonna be happy with the round nonetheless.
Yeah, not the worst thing in the world. Spike planted, all the kills on their side, in their baskets, and they're not slowing down. This time, though, full buy coming in from Wildfire Sphinx. I think they got to think twice about it. The first time round, they just rushed all the way mid to B. Second time, it's an A hit. This time around, I'm not sure because, yeah, economy, I mean, they might be able to buy on the next, but certainly want to make this painful for Wildfire Sphinx. So a little bit of mid control. Kiki not able to take the recon, but my God, they're just going in for this. Ka-chow. Still, though, it's a little bit of a contest. Do have Kiki backing off, but Ka-chow wants to fight this. She goes in for it and unfortunately drops dead. Flawless victory for Wildfire Sphinx. Now that they have the gun power, they have the reads as well. You know, it's just a quick reaction.
They have managed to keep it flawless, meaning that nobody is going to be forced onto a rebuy. They're going to have more money into the next round. Even if they do lose this one, because if you look at the money right here, very healthy economy on the side of Wildfire Sphinx. On the other side, however, Hashira, they do need this round themselves. They've already taken one loss, and they do not want to stack him up and bring it to a double. But we're going into round number 2 here, as we do have very much a spread out offense for the side of Wildfire, Hashira, as they look to get a lot of map control before they make any decisive moves here. They will spot up Sherzinga, who is the Sage.
Whoa.
It's a good opening pick for Japeeps, followed up onto that tag right there by the recon. Now Sereth up in this corner will be wall banged and taken out. Declaration trades eventually, but it's still a 3 for 2. And 2 for 1, excuse me, as the spike will now go down here towards that A.
3v4 situation. in the midst. And I don't know how Wildfire Sphinx are going to take this. I mean, Plucky coming in with a flank as well. 3 players in the front. They need to make a quick move. If not, Plucky's going to come in with the flank. This is the initial spray and declaration. Just complete 180 turn. Will be able to take her down. Back into this 2v2 though. And Luna will make it a 2v1. Minji though with a snake bite. She's buying time for her team. I don't know, even with that kill, can you actually get the spike defuse? She's certainly going in for the stick, and I think she has got it. Yeah, she does.
1.62 there. A little bit unfortunate. The snake bite doesn't land squarely on the spike, and it fades away just in the nick of time. But what happened to Plucky in that one? Honestly, that was a little. I don't know if she's like experiencing a little bit of a technical issue.
Lag, I think.
The ping is a pretty big ping diff, though.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I just 80 onto Plucky and 72 on the Minji. That's gonna hurt.
Rather unfortunate, but
Like I said this in a tweet. I want to move to C before we play Valorant.
oh man, it's.
I want that
SEA
12
things, dude. SEA.
Yeah, SEA things.
Still, they're trying their best. They're getting the spikes down, and that's what I like about Hashira right now. Still though, I mean, when it comes down to these duels, it's a little bit difficult.
Oh,
but
that's a gun.
Yep. And it's a headshot with the ghost too. Very impressive stuff. They might be able to pick that up, but Shozinga over by mid gets a little bit too inquisitive. Japip's taking her down now. They might just be able to walk in towards A after those open kills, but still, presence is shaping up towards.
Oh, Japip sees the barrel. I mean, Kachao sees the barrel of the gun here. Seekers are chasing her though, so she's gotta. Oh no.
Okay,
Well,
okay. Well, a little bit of a reposition, but the main thing is Toxic Screen goes up towards the B wall. They're going in. Getting a spike down will make it tougher for the 2 remaining players from Wildfire Sphinx. Xerath will be the first to fall, and now all that's left. Luna coming in, able to make a flick happen, but of course not the second. 2-2-3. And Hashira, I mean, yeah, sometimes a little bit of unfortunate lag, but when it comes down to it, with these strats, with these opening picks, when Wildfire Sphinx starts to make some minor mistakes as well here and there, they certainly will capitalize on it.
I am rather impressed at the shots that came out in that round. Those were a lot of good eco kills. Just the ghost initial ghost kill and the final kill with the sheriff, just the tap. A lot of that's a thrifty round. That's definitely a round that Hashira should not have won. And look at what it's done. It's forced Wildfire Sphinx on an eco of their own here.
And that just means that they're going to play this a lot more conservatively. I mean, look at the way they're positioned. This just gives Hashira, a lot of space, especially up towards mid. So that's something that they've done quite often now. Still though, Xerath just making things painful. Goes in for a quick peek, takes Kachao down. Thankfully, Plucky will make a quick trade, but unable to deal with Kiki. Goes in for a peek after that early information. Now, it's just duels in towards mid, but it's Japip's that they're dealing with. But the headshots from Luna just as sharp. Spike does go down over by 8. A Viper's Pit does get deployed, but a 2v3 situation, and they have to be a little bit careful.
Look, this is already a win here for Wildfire Sphinx, whether or not they win the round. They've managed to make it so expensive on their eco. Now, if they can get this diffuse off, it's going to be a very big bonus here. But the Viper's Pit is the great equalizer. They're going for the Hunter's Fury play, the lineup play here. Now that that's gone, that's out of the picture here. Low HP right here. Looking for the fake. Hunter's Fury used once. Used twice, and that's going to be the diffuser here.
Oh my god.
Key, and actually manages to turn around a triple kill from Key. Little bit, I think, little bit discommunicating from the side of Wildfire Sphinx there. They should have gone either together. It was just so difficult to play that, sure. But regardless, Wildfire Sphinx, they got 4 kills off an eco round. What a play.
Incredible stuff. I mean, the sole player on the site might have dropped. I mean, Viper's Pit was already tough enough to deal with, but just this Hunter's Fury, the way she even used it, waiting for the initial tap, letting it go off for maybe 1 second, allows her to actually connect the first
Yeah, that was big
beat.
brain.
Very well played. And now, even off that win, I mean, yes, the economy was hurt enough, which was good, but this is why Wildfire Sphinx right now, they're actually playing a little bit more carefully. Still, though, mid is what I'm worried about. I mean, if they get to push up past
There.
the halfway mark, they got to worry about position around B tunnel.
They are, they're playing very, very passively. They're playing this default style, and it didn't really work super convincingly for Hashira last time. Sure, they got the win, but at the same time, it's leaving a lot of holes in the Wildfire Sphinx defense right here, right across this wall. Right across this wall, Sarah is waiting. Oh, she makes noise. She makes noise. She's spotted out. They know where she is, but can't she get the kill? Kachao to open things up. Lucky to follow and through. It's going to be the double for Hashira right now, as they look like they're in the lead. They're in the advantage. But Declaration doesn't want to give up just yet. Still holding position towards this triple box, and it's so difficult to flush out any player from this position. She could hold here forever if she wanted to. But the tag's coming in the flank. 20 HP, Kiki's low. But Kachao decides not to continue on with the fight. Just leave her onto low HP. Reset, go somewhere else, support her team. But that's key to find one, plucky to find the other. And that's key to finish off the round. Yet again, key to close out these victories for her team. Hashira looks so much more confident and comfortable playing slow on this attacking side.
I started off the round saying that Wildfire Sphinx were playing it safe, but then they just started getting a little bit too antsy, peeking outside of mid. Seraph, getting stuck in a precarious position. It felt really uncomfortable to be on the side of Wildfire Sphinx. I mean, even after a declaration, maybe a couple opening picks as they streamed onto site, but she had to stay tucked behind that triple stack, and the rest of her team as well is just unable to provide any form of support because of all those toxic screens. I mean, that's just Minji doing her job, and it's tough right now, but they still are adamant on pushing past this. Look at Sarah in towards cave, misses the first 4 knives, 1 remaining, doesn't connect it, and Hashira, they're just waiting for them to walk into their crosshairs. It's Japibs with a triple. All that's left is going to be Declaration and an easy frags for Japibs as she collects the 4th.
I do have to say, though, those shots with the blades, those should have hit home. That should have been at least a double kill. But and on like 8-12 ping, like, you really need to be hitting those shots, dude. Like, I'm sorry, it's as close as to LAN as you can get. So just unfortunate that Seraph wasn't able to, close out those shots when she's been so amazing this entire series, up until that point where it just gets a little bit weird. Now Hashira, I think, are getting in their heads, and just the way that they've been playing slow is forcing Wildfire Sphinx to make these mistakes. And like you pointed out earlier, Quack, they're checking angles that they don't need to. They're pushing into locations that they shouldn't. And Hashira, look, again, they're happy to capitalize.
Still, though, it's going to be a little bit of a trade. The Viper's Pit over by B is tremendous as it locks it out completely. Res comes in from Scherzinga as well. And all that's left for Hashira is to push into A. Still, though, the duel's coming in from Japib. She's able to lock down a triple kill. Big kills. And the site is under her control. Luna is the only one here to stop this from happening. Seekers go out, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. She does get a nice little bit of information. The first frag is even better, but they still have to deal with Japib, who is absolutely on a tear. She gets this right now. It's going to be the ace. Clutch. Going in for the 1v2, though, needs to isolate the angles, isolate the duels, playing around back and forth from the pillars, from the pyramids, I'm sorry. Looking for it. She gets the first frag. Instantly just misses, picks up a weapon, but Declaration shuts her down. Oh my god, she's done it.
For a second, when she got that rifle, she gets around that corner, I'm like, she wins this. She is going to win this, but what an effort right there. What an effort from Japeeps, getting the 3 kills. Look at that. 1, and yeah, that one took a minute, but still, good couple of kills to follow up one after the other. The 4th kill was good as well, but just not landing the shot to win the round. That could have been the 8th. Look at her score. She's 16-7.
Incredible. Oh my god, so unfortunate. You know, it's just perfect. I don't know, good read from the situation of from Wildfire Sphinx. They saw it, they knew they had
This
it. They
judge.
just pushed around the pyramid, but Zeri with the judge right now. I mean, she's kind of conditioned them to push into mid every single time. She sees the barrel, easy frag, can pick up the Vandal, but you know, anticipating a second player as well. It's gonna be Kachao back into this now. Sprays and wall bangs her. She has to dodge back and forth, and still will be able to stay alive. Kiki over by the top of it will be able to collect another kill, but here it is. B-side entry frag coming in from Plucky. They just might be able to walk in because of this, but will they actually be able to plant the spike? That's the question. Luna is in a prime position to stop this. In which Hawk goes out, a little bit of information, but that's the counter initiator coming in from the Sova player. Luna, though, still alive, except one more.
A little bit strange that Minji was just caught running a jump, like hopping. Why? I guess she didn't get the timing on her wall right, but it's a little bit weird. Key though, good for one headshot, fully flashed. Still alive in the corner for now. Key, it's good for one, but still Sereth and Luna able to find another round for Wildfire Sphinx to bring us back to 6-4. They're back in this game after a number of questionable plays here for Hashira. Wildfire Sphinx happy to capitalize and bring us closer and closer to tying us up.
Yeah, I mean, it's the way that they're starting to react to these, you know, early on, a little weird, inquisitive plays, pushing in here and there, but this time, you know, with a judge, you just hold your position, stay your ground, allow someone to walk into you. Once they had the numbers advantage, it's okay if Hashira gets the spike planted because they can go in for the advantageous retakes.
And the retakes have just been so good for Wildfire this entire time. I think most of the rounds that are successful came from retakes. Just goes to show that Hashira, they need to find that momentum. And one of the ways to do that is to take down Kiki, a big scalp to find. And they're going to try to peek her yet again. But Declaration decides against it. Right now, it's against her better judgment. Sereth, though, holding this corner, just smoked off to allow Hashira to get around this wall here. But Sereth is still looking for more, but she finds trouble is all. Luna, though, from up on above will rain down onto Plucky, and that's going to be the Seekers deployed here in this 2v3. There is another Viper's Pit, and this is going to be a little bit awkward here. It's still 2v3. But the Hunter's Fury, they're going to use it. They're going to try to slow them down even more here. And Wildfire thinks they might be in a lot of trouble because Kachao lands a banger of a shot. Now knows where Rip Declaration is. It lands another. That's the third here. Headshot. Pixel angle onto stairs. Doesn't matter. It's going to be Kachao coming up yet again with a massive 3K.
Kachao, gotta do the camera thing. Finger guns. She's landing those shots, connecting every single one of them. The initial one up towards Paul, and then once they got the site on lockdown, I think that's where you see there's just hope fading away. I mean, Viper's Pit plus Hunter's Fury, I'm not quite sure what Wildfire Sphinx could do. I mean, the last time that happened, they kind of lost it as well because of Key, but this time around they had Kachao to back them up, and it just made things even tougher. So last round at the end of the first half, and they don't have the best economy stack right now. They're spanking on the aggression. He will be able to get the first one, and that's the operator gone, but immediate trade by Japips. Choosing it now, has to stop this push coming in from tunnel, and she will be able to do it. A quick double with the Spectre. Oh my god, spike carrier dropped. His wants to go in for a counter frag. Gets it. Dismisses away down into a 2v3 situation.
Rounds the corner just in the nick of time. Now she's got the Empress here, Plucky to back her up, and she's gonna look to double up on her aggression. Knows where one is. Goes for the spray down. Goes for the dismiss. Now they know where the last player is, but it's still Declaration. I don't know why she actually had to use her ultimate there, given that information. Maybe a little bit of a disconnect, but in the end, it's gonna be Plucky to take the final round in the half. It's going to be 8-4. Hashira took a round that nearly slipped out of their grasp.
Very nearly. But, Mike, the way that she just repeats that, thankfully was able to land the spray. Declaration came close, but maybe it's just that little bit of micro adjustments with the crosshair. The flick wasn't happening. So 4-8 is the score at the end of the first half, and Wildfire Sphinx have a bit of catching up to do.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say they're in a lot of trouble. They are now switching over to the attacking side, which I'd argue is much more forgiving on Breeze. And they also need to just win one pistol to bring us to 2 rounds apart, so it's not that big of a deal. However, if they do lose this pistol, that's... Oh no, Kachao going for the aggressive peek. That was a little bit of a whiff. Okay, that was a whiff there. Should have been at least 1 kill. But there's backup in the form of Plucky here, working their way onto the side. Kachao gonna go even closer, gonna double down on the aggression, but she only finds 1. Now it's all up to Plucky, who has to hold the line alone, dipping through the wall, dashing through it, and just using it as a smoke.
My eyes are
Just
down.
outplaying her team completely, even has the camera to give her all the information that she
One
needs.
enemy
Just work her way onto site, and that's gonna be the kill from Key to close out the round, and I gotta hold that out. That was pretty big brain from Hashira. The shots weren't that great, but the way that they played it, that was really good.
That was incredibly confident coming in from Plucky. The sheer, I mean, bravery, courage that you need to pull off something like that, going back and forth between your opponent's toxic screen. I mean, she just had no regard for any form of decay that she was gonna get, and used it as her own smoke, in fact. And just because of that, Wildfire Sphinx were not sure how to connect the shots onto her, so they kind of lost control over this site. But coming into this round now, they have the eco. They're looking to, kind of push themselves into aggressive positions, but it's going to be Key who saves the day. First player gone, and that's Sarah. Another big scout to find. 4v5 now. I don't know how they're going to be able to make their way onto this site.
Yeah, be a little bit tough here. They have a pretty good crossfire. They got Japeeps checking mid every now and then. They don't really have to worry about it, because look at where they've snuck up Kachao. She's already back here. She's gotten 2 kills. Minji's already found 2. And that's going to be Kachao, waiting for the right moment to strike, finding a couple. And that's already double digits. Hashira, 10-4 up against Wildfire Sphinx. Remember, ladies and gents, and whoever is watching here, if you're just tuning in for the first time, and if you don't know the history of these 2 teams, Hashira and Wildfire Sphinx, they've kind of been going at it for the past couple of opens. And they met last time in also a best of 3, where Wildfire Sphinx actually took out Hashira in the lower bracket. So this is a rematch of a rematch, because they also met in the upper bracket, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They met in the upper bracket, they met in the lower bracket, and this is their 3rd time meeting against each other. And now Hashira look like they want to finally win.
Rivalry is intense between these 2 teams, but I think it has to be said, last time, maybe Wildfire Sphinx, they had their choice of the maps. This time Hashira does, and Breeze is not a map that, Wildfire Sphinx were performing too well on. Last time, again, they lost 8-13 against Hashira, and this time it might be a little bit different. The gap might be even larger, in fact, because Hashira are just playing incredibly well right now. I mean, you talk about, at the end of the first half, Wildfire Sphinx had pretty nice retakes, but Hashira have strong retakes as well. In fact, their defensive positions, I mean, this just might be the first 2 rounds of the second half, but they show that they really know how to make it work.
They do. And whether you have rifles in their hands or pistols, Hashira has been stealing the rounds away from Wildfire here. And Wildfire Sphinx, they haven't really found a number of successive rounds to claim as their own. Their best was at the very start of the game, when they managed to steal away some economy. They managed to win an eco round. Looking like it's going to be a little bit more of the same as Kachao getting that sneaky kill up onto Kiki right there. Nobody to refrag, nobody around the area, nobody even close. And so that's an untradeable kill, already 4v5.
Yeah, you never quite expect the defenders to push in towards BL, though, and it kind of hurts. Still, though, Kachao is going for extra information towards top mid. Will be spotted out by Sherzinga, but the main thing is, Wildfire Sphinx still need to play the objective. They need to find an opening in towards the A site, which is currently getting stopped by Japips right now. Plus information she's getting from her Sova teammate. It's just even tougher. Key is helping Japips out so much right now, and she's able to get the next spray in towards Declaration. Unfortunately falls. We're back into the 1v2, but what can she do right now? 26 HP, a single bullet, and she is dead. 4-11, and Hashira are ever much closer towards match point.
They are basically at the cusp of winning this game in the series here. A little bit surprising that this game didn't really go how we expected. Thought it would be a lot closer than this, and it looks like Hashira are very much ready to close it out. But it just goes to show the importance of the map selection for both of these teams, because every single time we've seen Wildfire versus Hashira, they're always close games. They always go to game 3, and most of the time Wildfire would win. This is the first time that Hashira is really starting to show their dominance, and it goes to show that if you pick the right maps, if you get the right bans, then you'll really get an advantage in your team's favor. But we'll talk about B site right now as Declaration finds the opening onto Kachao. He's lurking towards mid, but Minji is good for a double right there. Melts them down, tries to go for more taps. Has to reload, now has the Viper's Pin. Doesn't get to use it because Luna is right there to claim her scalp. Now it's going to be a 2v3 on this retake. Hashira have advantage. They even have a flank coming up in their way right now. Scherzinger has to watch multiple angles, caught looking the wrong way. Manages to round the corner, and now Plucky to push through. It's Plucky to win the game. I mean, not win the game yet, win the round, excuse me. And find Hashira that match points.
Yeah, that was a round that they really needed. But unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. They might have gotten the spike down, but when it comes down to it, they lost way too many players in the early attacks. And Hashira just know, I mean, they have the numbers advantage. They know how to push as a squad. Every single angle is just way too overwhelming for Scherzinger and Luna to cover. So it's just really unfortunate, but 4-12 is the score. And Wildfire Sphinx, I mean, even if they win this round, it's going to be match point from here on out. They have to make it work.
They have to. They have to dig deep. They have to make a massive comeback. But they're not out of it just yet. They still have the lower bracket, if I'm not mistaken.
They do.
Yeah. So they still can qualify. Remember, the top 2 teams will go through here. It'll be an off in the hands of Kachao. Missing that operator. Kiki to get that kill. No, it's Declaration instead, as the aggressive peek from Japeeps just gets punished and not rewarded this time.
So that certainly slows things down a little, at least for Hashira, who, you know, sensing the danger around mid, they're definitely backing off a little. I don't think they want to re-peek this. Minji looking like she wants to, but the main forces are headed towards the B site. Spike is there as well, and Plucky is the one to stop this. She has been instrumental in making these plays happen so far, and around this position as well. She gets the second hit shot, but unfortunately gets taken down. Kachao now with the knives will not be able to do much as Declaration puts it to her. All that's left is Minji in this 1v2. Tries to get the headshot onto Xerath, who immediately dashes away. Still red HP though. The wall just might be blocking Declaration from her line of sight. And because of this, she's able to stick it. Will the snakebite actually land on the spike itself? She will get decayed, but she gets to stick the defuse. 4-13. And Hashira, off the heroics from Minji, will be able to close this out.
She just sticks it right there. It's a little bit of hesitation on the snake bite. And honestly, wow, Hashira coming up in a big way. This is the most dominant victory that we've seen from them, I think, ever. Up against Wildfire Sphinx. And, you know, great as a game it was unfortunate that this third game didn't really amount to what we thought it would. But in the end, Wildfire Sphinx, a lot to be proud of, especially in the first 2 games. They needed to win those first 2. I think they needed to win the first 2 games in order to really seal the deal on this series. But Hashira, after holding fast, holding strong, they're able to take their map number 3 and go and advance. But don't worry, ladies and gents, we're not done just yet for Wildfire Sphinx. They still have another chance if they go drop down to the lower bracket.
Yeah, lower bracket, and they get to make their way all through towards the, I think, somewhere around the lower bracket finals. I'm not sure. The bracket's really complicated this time around, but main thing is we're looking for the top 3 teams because those are the ones who will be able to qualify for FSL Elite with the huge $25,000 prize pool. So, you know, it might not be over for Wildfire Sphinx, but unfortunately they will have to take this loss, and Hashira are showing that they have done their homework. They have what it takes to even go all the way and qualify.
They do, and I think we might actually see them qualify it again. This is a very good chance for Hashira to find their way into Elite. And this would mean, I think, massive for not just Wildfire Sphinx or Hashira, any team in the local, in the Southeast Asian scene, of the female scene. Because getting into Elite, proves that you are there for a reason. You have clawed your way through the gauntlet. And not only is it good money, obviously, but it's also great experiences to, have that feeling of being in a team, in playing in Elite on VCT Game Changers. There is nothing like it in the world.
Yeah, I mean, you get the VCT Game Changers the title in the game, right? Plus, I mean, sometimes you get to get early access to certain maps that maybe most of the world doesn't get to. But yeah, main thing is playing on a team, just showing that these girls have what it takes to compete professionally. And, especially for Wildfire Sphinx, I mean, we talk about it, yeah, two of the players, Scherzinga and Luna, might have been recent converts coming from games like Dota 2 and whatnot. But with hard work and dedication, I mean, they've been streaming Valorant. They've been training hard at the practice range, playing lots and lots of games, and you even see their aim improving. I mean, a lot of these different setups that they've got, they're landing shots in the middle of an Astra gravity well. It's not easy to pull off a feat like that.
I agree. We're going to take a little bit of a look at the stats here in just a second, see what we can pull up for you guys. But you make a great point there, Quack. The improvement on both of these teams is just straight up exponential. Just multiply it by, 10.
10, yeah.
I'm really bad at math, and you can tell that I was thinking about what
number.
you roll.
10 is a reasonable number.
and it goes to reinforce the point that when you have tournaments like this that's supported by the game developers, and obviously everybody who's watching, just the scene, it grows. It allows for this much more of a robust community where you get, these kind of teams that are just improving all the time. And then you end up with ridiculous, I don't know, outlier, insane teams like Alter Ego Celeste.
Yeah, well, Alter Ego Celeste. Yeah, I mean, that team is... It's made of wonders. Each and every single player is so incredibly skilled, and if not for FSL, if not for VCT Game Changers Southeast Asia, we wouldn't have known about them. But they are on the map. They have been playing Counter-Strike from last time before Valorant was a thing. But I'm more interested in Alter Ego Celeste. They deserve all the praise. But Wildfire Sphinx, Hashira, even Arakat Aresta, some other teams as well. I mean, Galaxy Racer. You even have Renatus White. If not for FSL, we wouldn't have been treated to incredible plays from players like Kachao with the blast packs. That's incredibly amazing.
Definitely a lot of highlights here for today, and I definitely enjoyed watching all of this, and of course being honored to cast this with you. Now, Quack, unfortunately, it's time for us to say goodbye. It's been a great run. But it is time to bid adieu to everybody who has been watching for the last time here today. On behalf of Quack and, of course, the entire production team here at FSL, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. But we have some more coming up to your way tomorrow. Got 2 best of 5s, and we're going to be delivering that straight to your doorstep as we go on with the Valorant Game Changers FSL Overtime. So it's time to say goodbye and good night. It is, again, Illustrato and Quack signing off. Wants to pick a fight. Wants to pick up a lot of fights here. She nails 2. She locks them down. Gets behind the side. And Japip's working the back. Tries to get them closer, but Kachao is here. 1v1. Has the paint shell. Time is ticking away. I don't think she's got the time. Oh, she does! Kachao yet again. Cuckoo Kachu. Here we go. As it's Scherzinga trapped in his corner. And up against the judge. It's Kachao. One more time.
How many
30 seconds
kills will she get with this judge? It's uncanny. Now Luna all alone in a 1v3 will try to take us to overtime.
Oh
But
my
yet again,
God.
good shout. What? She's trying to get as many taps in as she can, but it is going to be just a couple of
One
kills yet
enemy
again.
remaining.
But do they have the time? They need to
enemy
start the
remaining.
defuse as soon as humanly possible. A declaration up against Japeeps, and oh my God!
Hashira still have a chance, but they need to be able to defend and lock down the sites. Shock dart into play, and it's a very gnarly one.
One who does it gets a kill with a nano swarm, follows it up with another with a phantom, and it's all up to Scherzing. She's been fatal, she's been lethal, but can she be deadly? It looks like a yes!
Hunter Fury play,
Player
the
standing.
lineup play here. Now that that's gone, that's out of the picture here. Low HP right here. Looking for the fake. Hunter's Fury used once,
Enemy remaining.
used twice, and that's going to be the diffuser here.
Oh my God.
He and actually manages to turn around.
They're just waiting for them to walk into their crosshairs. It's
Oh.
Japeeps with a triple. All that's left is going to be declaration and an easy box completely. Res comes in from Scherzinga as well. And all that's left for Hashira is to push into A. Still though, the duels coming in from Japeeps. She's able to lock down up to 2. Tries to get the headshot onto Xerath, who immediately dashes away. Still red HP though. The wall just might be blocking declaration from her line of sight. And because of this, she's able to stick it. Will the snakebite actually land on the spike itself? She will get decayed, but she gets to stick the defuse. 4 to 13. And Hashira